Hello, friends and foes, fays and fiends, and welcome to Quest and Chaos. My name is Alondra Heilman, aka Lady Bedivere, and tonight I will be your heist handler as we continue our playthrough of Keys from the Golden Vault with part 1 of Vidorant's Vault, which is the level 7 adventure in the book. We are here for the next 3 Mondays while Phandelver Below is taking a little break because of some scheduling conflicts. But we hope you will enjoy these amazing shenanigans. And these shenanigans, as always, are sponsored by the Deck of Inspiration, which I normally have way better set up to grab and did not plan ahead. This was developed by Quests and Chaos through the help of many of our lovely viewers and patrons. This was the brainchild of Thomas, who you're going to see in just a moment when the camera cuts, because he's back. These are really great. They're really fun to add complications to your own games. I have the levels 5 to 10 deck in one hand, and I also have the DUI in case someone dad jokes me so hard that I feel like they need more shenanigans. I don't think I've had to DUI anyone in this game in a couple of modules, so we'll see. One time we had somebody invisible for 10 minutes, which was wild. They had to take all their clothes off to stay invisible. It was a time. Speaking, though, of the Deck of Inspiration, one of the fun benefits that our patrons get in our Patreon is being able to assign cards to our lovely players, who you can now see. Wave lovely players. And we do, in fact, have a card for you all this week from Squeal the Bard. Thank you so much, Ben. You have been one of our most vocal supporters of this show, and we appreciate you. Since you only have the one card, I will let you pick, and we're going to play the game where we try to remember which way is left and which way is right.
Watch hand or no watch hand?
Because they're all my right hand, apparently.
I think Joseph should pick.
Joseph, yeah, you're new to the table. Which one do you want?
Let's go watch hand.
Watch hand. All right. Here you go. And
right.
You guys can bank that.
Elemental reaction. Use a reaction to change your weapon's damage to any damage type of your choice from one attack. This may be played after you hit with the attack.
Very cool.
All right.
Lovely.
Nice, nice. All right. Let me do one quick check. Our tavern upkeep so far for the month, which we are about halfway through, is just under 42%. This is everything from our lovely patrons, as well as any of your super chats that you drop in the chat. We really appreciate everybody who supports us. That is how we were able to do this and keep the lights on. And now...
Alondra, can I jump in?
Absolutely.
Sorry, before you do that, because we are probably at 50%.
Oh!
Because we did get 2 new patrons recently. So
Welcome!
Yay! Hello!
Yay,
I hope
you.
you see this and
Yes.
know that we have seen you. Thank you for joining our Patreon. Yes, I was basing my math off of some very sketchy and not updated math with what I had access to. So thank you all so much, and thank you everyone who is currently watching for being here. I have to continue to hold my title for the shortest introduction, so I'm going to power through. Last time on Golden Vault, some stuff happened. The fun thing about Golden Vault being a modular campaign in the way that we are running it, we are running it all the way through as a contiguous story, but it is written to be modular, so every time there's been a little bit of gap of time, the table resets, and then we come into all new shenanigans. We do have, of course, some returning players. We've got Huey back from our last session, our Axe from the Grave. And we finally also have the return of Stewart Seanery.
Stewart Seanery returns.
Huzzah!
And we also, you'll meet his character shortly, but we have a new player tonight. Hi, Joseph.
Hello.
Some of you who listen to the Redacted Reports may know Joseph as Agent Ross. We're very excited to have you after
I'm excited
so long trying to get
finally
you
be
on
here.
this one. While I was vamping, 2 coins from Duke Fleeg for the players.
Thank you, Your Grace.
Thank you.
Okay, we're gonna...
In the box.
Okay, that wasn't too bad since I decided to do both.
This is a lucky one. That's the lucky one. We're going to give that to you.
Yeah.
I needed her.
That's what we call a
okay.
callback. Thank you, Your Grace. Anyway, last time our party was together, they were sent on an away mission to find a legendary musical instrument. They visited the most rural of podunk towns, were able to find said instrument and put the restless musician to whom it belonged back to rest. And now it's been pretty quiet for a couple of weeks back in Varkenheim. Sloan and Gemma have been operating business as usual. Huey has found a great new gig playing at Dave's Bar. Given that the bar is mostly frequented by, as we know, college students and cultists, it's a pretty sweet gig. There's always somebody there. You make really decent tips. So Huey's kind of stuck around for that. Taz decided to retreat back off to her own bar and make sure it hadn't burned down while she was away, as you do. And all in all, everything's been pretty quiet. Somebody who hasn't been in town, though, has been Stewart. Stewart, where have you been for the last month or so?
Well, Stewart got married, so...
Congratulations.
I can't believe we haven't met this person.
Stewart got married to a halfling named Emma. We took a boat trip up to Icewind Dale.
Knucklehead Trout Cruise.
Yeah.
Everyone's favorite.
Yeah, it's a trout cruise, and, seeing the frozen bodies floating down from Ten Towns, as you do. It was...
How are the Northern Lights? Beautiful as ever?
Very delightful, yes. She did captain the ship on our trip as well, so it was...
We love a woman of business here.
Fabulous.
Yeah. Yeah, well, after a lovely cruise around the frigid north, Stewart and Emma are back and settled in, and Stewart's getting back to his normal day-to-day business. Before we get too far into that narrative, we did get 2 more coins from Red Dead Coquette. One to the players to make sure they survive. I'll send this one to Stewart. And one to the DM to make sure they don't.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Yeah, Stewart, you're back in town. You head back into the office. As is standard when you've been away for a while, you got to go through the mail. There's a huge stack of it. But the first thing you notice on the kind of pile that has accumulated is that on the very top is an unfortunately familiar business card with a name and a key. And written on it in pen is a time and a place. The place is Dave's Bar. The standard, our standard meeting place. I think it's called the Sage's Quill. I have to look this up every time. I always forget. The Sage's Quill.
It's just called Dave's Bar.
Dave's Bar.
Yeah, you guys all just know it as Dave's. He might actually own it. You're not entirely sure. It's never been clear.
He owns every bar.
He works at every bar, that's for sure. And the time is 6 p.m. this evening.
Oh, all right.
So you've got a little bit of time for your afternoon to go through the mail. Most of it's going to be spam. It always is. So many offers for credit stones. You don't need any more. It's not good. You sit down to go through the mail and just catch up on things since you've been away. Sloan and Gemma, business is going, as it often does. Some of the kids have been around less frequently. It seems like you've heard some reports of just it hasn't felt super safe to be doing their normal routes, so they're just taking a little longer, being more cautious. There's just kind of the vibes are weird when you're kids, right? But they're still showing up. You're checking in with Petey every so often. Deliveries are coming, if a little bit slowly, but everything seems to be going all right. And one day as you're checking the books, and Gemma, you're probably stopping by to do a handoff. Leave a delivery for Devin, a fake delivery for Devin to take.
It's my favorite. I also, and just a new concoction I have this week that I'm gonna try and sneak into the decanter.
Yes. Yeah. See if you can grab the flask of endless liquids without Sloan noticing to add a new liquid to it. But as you both happen to be at the shop, the post drops by and slipping out of one of those like beauty magazines that just has like 1,000 perfume samples in it, you see a business card with a note.
Who's really wearing sulfur?
Apparently it's all the rage now. Thinking about succubi and that like
I can see it.
sulfuric. Yeah.
But yeah, you know that you've got you're gonna be meeting up at 6 p.m. Huey, it's about 5:45 and you're jamming at the bar. How full is the bar tonight? You tell me.
I say it's pretty full. You know, not exactly the biggest crowd, but I mean that I've seen at the bar before, but still pretty up there, so pretty respectable. I'm okay with that.
Nice. Yeah, you're still in kind of the tail end of happy hour. Everybody seems pretty pleased. We're a little bit post an exam round, so that's probably leading to like more people either celebrating or drowning their sorrows. Definitely the weird guys in the cloaks that have like, you're not sure if they just have really strange beards or if they've got like tentacles or something. They're in their like creepy shadowy corner and don't want anyone to talk to them. So Dave's sort of running interference on the drunk college kids. But it's a pretty good night. You're jamming. And as you are jamming, you see a slightly familiar figure come in. Tall elven woman with like almost whitish hair, kind of dressed for travel. You recognize this is Priscilla, who recruited you and Taz on the last adventure and then summarily handed you a stack of business cards with gold keys and her name on them and said, don't touch these unless you're ready to be teleported, but keep them close by. Welcome to your new job. And with her is a tiefling. Joseph, can you please give us a little description of what you look like?
So this is Verity. He is about an average height, dark, like kind of light purple skin. He's got two black horns that kind of go up right here. He's got white hair, a little bit of a gray tint to it, and he's got a goatee. He looks like he's maybe he looks like he's like maybe a retiree, a little bit on the older side. He's got a robe on. It's got some patches on it with some purple stylings on it. And he's got a deck of cards that he's kind of fiddling with in his hand.
So you see these two roll into the bar. And Priscilla swings up toward the little stage corner that you've been set up at. And is like, Huey, how's the new job going?
It's going great.
Wonderful. Would you mind terribly, in about 15 minutes, 6 p.m., joining us in the back room for a little bit? We've got another job from the other job that I'd like to discuss with you. Some of the others will be joining us as well.
Oh, you finally having me play at the Ritz?
The other job, actually.
Oh. Gotcha.
No, appreciate it. Yeah, just wrap up your set and have Dave put a stone in a cup or something to cover for you. It should only take like 15, 20 minutes. That was a Jake Hurwitz joke for anyone who listens to that podcast. Yeah, and so she goes ahead and drops a gold in your like open instrument case that you've got for tips or whatever, and heads back with Verity into the back room. About 15 minutes later, as you're wrapping up, and you see Dave come over with the iPod to plug into the aux to create music until you're back. You also recognize Sloan and Gemma rolling in.
So what are you putting in? It's
So, well, okay, so we figured out, right? We have both coffee and hooch in there.
Sure.
So I'm like, okay, why not other things, right?
Okay.
So far there's some Pedialyte, a lot of different alcohols,
All right.
some orange juice, just in case.
Can we?
I also did a mimosa. I think it works.
Okay. I was gonna ask, can we do cocktails?
Yeah, I did. I made a martini in there in case we bump into Stewart.
Okay.
You know how he is.
Yeah, with martinis. But we don't have
yeah.
any olives. Or is he an onion guy?
We can just grab him from the back. Dave, do you have olives?
Yeah, third shelf.
Thanks. I'll get olives.
Okay.
Martinis. I'm gonna grab olives, like just the thing of olives, and then like 4 martini glasses.
I'm just jotting down these notes in the back of like a song sheet.
Yeah. Yeah, I just flip it over like, oh my god, it's great.
This will be the best drink ever.
Huey, how's it going?
Going great. How's it going, Sloan?
It goes. It does. You know, we're alive. That's good, right? Yeah. Martinis.
Those sound like some boss martinis. I need you to tell me more, Gemma. I can't remember. Sorry.
About the martini?
Stewart, you
Well,
walk
it's
in
gin
to see
and-
this conversation unfolding.
Did I hear martinis?
Stewart, you're back! Oh my god!
I'm gonna
Wait.
go grab more glasses.
All right.
Okay. I heard a rumor that you got married.
I did get married. Yes.
Congratulations.
That's amazing. And then
I apologize for not inviting you.
yeah,
It was kind of an arrow shot wedding, if you will.
yeah,
Cannon. It was
yeah,
a cannon type of wedding.
Yeah, cannon blast.
We were escaping on a ship, and she's the captain, and she married us. So anyway,
Convenient.
You can do that when you're the captain.
I was gonna say, can you do that?
As long as you've got ceremony.
yeah, it was fantastic. Thank you.
Yeah, fabulous. Well, I
Do you
hope.
have a registry?
Yeah.
No.
No.
Do you want a registry?
No.
No. Okay.
No.
Okay.
I'm here for the money gig.
Oh.
Yes, I seem to have spent and Stewart's brand new studded leather. It's very.
It's a little creaky because it's not fully broken in yet.
Yeah, I did get this off of a
Oh, that's nice.
traveling merchant.
Yeah, very nice. Very nice.
Yeah, so I'm broke now. Anyway,
Oh.
yeah.
Well, that's not good. We can't have you broke and married. You gotta be,
Yeah.
rich, happy wife, happy life.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
So this is the legendary Stewart I've been hearing about?
Oh, Stewart,
yeah.
Huey.
Hey, hello, Huey.
Good evening. I'm Huey Crower. I've heard many good things about you and your adventures.
I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
You guys all see a small black and white rabbit suddenly runs through the cluster of you all, kind of looks a little bit disappointed, and then goes scampering off to the back room.
Hyacinth martini.
Ears perk up a little bit.
Well, back room, here we go.
You all enter the back room, and now you all see Priscilla is kind of sitting at one of her, kind of in her normal, mode at the table, already has a pitcher of something very alcoholic looking, probably like a Long Island iced tea situation. What is the Faerunian equivalent of, what is that, a Neverwinter iced tea? Probably.
Yeah.
A big pitcher of that, and sitting with her is this, fairly average height, but slightly on the older end of what you would expect for an adventurer. Tiefling gentleman, who also has a tall glass in front of him, a tall full glass in front of him. Priscilla just waves you over and is like, good, you all made it. If you come in, close the door, you know the drill. Dave will play loud music to cover for everything. Excellent to see everyone. Have a seat. Good. Olives, wonderful. You need the salt to offset the sweet. We're waiting on one more member of the party who's going to be explaining the sort of situation. But as usual, we've got a paying job with a possible other benefit to it, if it's something that any of you would be interested in, that I'm helping to broker. I actually will probably not be staying for this meeting, but I will be available to talk to later, which we can discuss after you've spoken to the person offering the job. But in the meantime, this is my good friend and former coworker, Verity, who's going to be sort of standing in for me.
Pleasure to meet you all.
Verity
Yes.
has a great deal of experience. I trust him wholeheartedly, and he will be accompanying you on this job if you all decide to take it, because of his particular and unique skill set, which is card shuffling. It's not anything crazy, it's just card shuffling.
Oh, another casino.
Yeah, casino again.
I heard about a casino.
It might involve casinos. I don't have the full details.
Sloan looks nervous. wringing their hands in a corner.
We can hold hands. It's okay.
Anyway, I have to dash, but Verity and Hyacinth are going to stay here while you sort of get the lowdown, and you can find me at Pina Coladaberg in their back room if we need to talk afterwards.
Pleasure to see you again, as always.
Indeed. I have a lovely time. I look forward to hearing all about whatever this meeting is. Gemma, thank you. That last batch worked wonders.
Oh, great. I have more.
Oh,
I'll get it.
wonderful.
Yeah.
I'll call you. Priscilla gets up, sort of like knocks on the table. It's one of those weird unconscious gestures of almost like a good luck charm thing that you just do without thinking about. You see that Hyacinth hops up into the chair that she was sitting in and then suddenly just like ripples and disappears.
Hyacinth disappears?
Yeah. There's just like a little like shimmer in the air and then he's just gone.
But was she ever really here?
I
Was it an illusion?
don't. I'm gonna like wave my hand over the stool.
You suddenly feel two very fluffy ears.
He's still there.
Put one of the glasses on.
Like a little thimble.
Yeah. You immediately see the level of liquid in the glass starting to go down. We have one more coin coming in from Cheryle for the players.
Thank you.
Oh.
So generous.
Thank you. You guys all are sitting here for a moment as Priscilla exits out the front door and Invisible Hyacinth chugs a shot glass of martini, apparently.
Verity?
Yes.
Okay. I'm just terrible with names. I'm sorry.
Yes.
I will write it down.
And I think Priscilla was telling me Stewart,
Yes.
Gemma, Sloane, and Huey.
Yep.
Yep.
How long have you known Priscilla?
Oh, I can't even remember. It's been so decades.
Done a lot of heists
yeah.
together.
A fair number. I don't know if I'd put a number on it.
What's
Interesting.
Priscilla like on a heist?
She's not as put together as she puts on, but
That's not surprising.
Gotcha. Better with the admin work, right?
yes, we've had our entanglements in the past. Worked together for a few cases, but have a good working relationship.
You live to tell the tale.
Yes,
That's
yes.
a good sign.
Few minutes pass and then you hear like a knock on the door. The door opens and you see Dave kind of opens the door and it's like, right this way, sir. You'll meet the team right back here. Kind of waves at you all, checks, like clocks your glass and is like, more for anybody? You good? Mm-hmm. Okay. Yep. I'll bring those right in once you've had a chance to talk. Enjoy.
Shaken, not stirred.
Olives or onions?
Olives.
Great.
Bring me a Boulder's crate.
Gives you a thumbs up. And then he kind of like checks, Gemma, you particularly see that he like clocks the chair, clocks the shot glass, like nods and like ushers in. The man that he ushers in is a middle young dwarven man. Very clean cut, well put together, like very elegantly like braided beard that's like trimmed and on the sides and very put together, slicked back hair, wearing sort of a suit situation. Definitely gives off that air of forgettable money. If you notice him, he wants you to know that he's got status, but he doesn't want you to notice him. He comes in, kind of does the rounds and assesses you, pulls up into a chair, and then kind of takes a moment, reaches in, pulls out a business card, and you see it is not dissimilar to the kind of card that Priscilla has. It's one of these very simple cards, and on it, in kind of a silver foiling, is a handprint image. He sets it down on the table, and he says, "So, good evening. My name is Samfith Goldenbeard. and I work for the Silver Fingers Society. I'm not sure if any of you all are familiar with our society, but let's just say that we are very particular about collecting rare and unique items.
I apologize. What was your last name?
Goldenbeard? So I have only recently come into, one might say, a leadership position here in the Silver Fingers. And as part of my new regime, one might call it, I am seeking to repossess certain items that should be in the Society's collections, which have been unjustly liberated from them. Very particularly one that is of personal value to me. An item known as the Ruby Diadem. It was once worn by Queen Erlin Blessedor. It's all right if you haven't heard of her. She was a renowned dwarven queen some centuries ago. This was her particular diadem. Every dwarven queen, as part of their coronation, forges their own crown. You're familiar then?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to see some of the taller races who take an interest in our history. It's not more common than it used to be, but still not as common as I'd like. Yes, so this was the diadem that she forged within her coronation and wore throughout her reign. And as she is an ancestor of mine, I have a personal attachment to this particular item. It was for a time in the possession of the Society, and then was not. And I would like it to be returned. So I have offered out a challenge to anyone interested in joining the Society, that anyone who can successfully retrieve this item and return it to us may have membership without passing the rest of the trials normally involved. And I was contacted by your leader here, and he indicates a hand to Verity, who said that your crew would be interested in such membership and might be willing to take on the recovery of this precious item.
Is there space for just one, or if we all in this?
Oh, I was informed that you were a crew
Of
that
course,
operate
yes.
together.
Yes.
I mean, if you wanted to bring in any more than the five, I would certainly want to know about it. Just, we want to keep track of numbers within the Society. It is very elite, and we try to be selective about only opening up membership to those who are truly of the caliber that we're seeking. Interested enough that I should continue with more of the information?
What are the usual tests?
Oh, standard sorts of things. Making your way through trapped mazes, pickpocketing, select targets without being caught, infiltrating heavily armed buildings. The standard sort of things for entering a society such as ours.
I'm certainly interested.
I'm just plucking olives into my mouth and I'm snacking on them. Just look at the others. We don't have some kind of non-compete clause, do we?
Not that I'm aware of.
Non-compete? Are you with another organization?
Gemma and I own a business, a small jewelry store. It's yeah.
One of those.
Huey sometimes does work for us.
No questions asked.
Yeah.
You don't have to tell me. I don't know what I don't know.
Yeah, but we don't have them.
No.
All right, we're good to go.
Certainly, the recompense for the job.
Aside from membership in our very elite society.
All right, that sounds about appropriate.
I mean, there would certainly be. I would provide personal compensation, seeing as this is in a sense, a family artifact that has been stolen directly from the bloodline, and I'd like to see returned. We take these things very seriously amongst dwarven clans.
I mean, if this thing goes as others do, I'm sure there's plenty of things to pick up along the way.
I will say the last known location of this item, to the best that we have been able to trace, is probably rife with other such artifacts and treasures, which, while I don't have a personal vested interest in, I certainly have no problem with them also being liberated from their current locations, if something were to catch your fancy.
And where's that?
The personal vaults of the notorious thief, Vidorant.
I'm sorry, did you say Vidorant?
Ah, so you have heard of her. Quite famous in her day for her daring exploits, robbing the wealthy and powerful all around the area, until her recent retirement, as one might call it. No, word is that she's got an unmarked vault deep in the city that is sitting on just a mass of illicitly claimed treasures. One of which is my ancestor's crown.
The name sounds elvish, is that right?
Yes. I believe she is of the forest elf persuasion. Not entirely sure. Wears a lot of black, very pale. Sort of a vibe, I think the kids call it.
Gotcha. I know sometimes there's a bit of a beef between the elves and the dwarves, so is one of those things or just kind of bad luck that happened?
I mean, it certainly doesn't look good, does it, for our sort of relations. In general, the elves and the dwarves have, at least, in urban society, have found ways of integrating, but I will say there are still ancient blood feuds that sort of simmer under the surface at times. I personally, again, I think I'd be miffed if she were a gnome or a Loxodon who had stolen my family's property, or at least property that we should have first claim to, but it is my understanding that she has pissed off quite a number of people in the course of her illustrious career. So I wouldn't be surprised if I'm not the only one looking to recover items from her trove.
Does any of this sound familiar to me?
Roll me a history check.
Rolling numbers.
First roll.
Numbers are gonna be rolled. Hopefully they're good. Oh, this character's smart.
I was gonna say, this is like...
The real question I have is...
No! I got a natural one. Go away.
Here's the thing. It does sound familiar to you, and
Yeah.
you can't get, like there is something deep in the back of your brain where you're like, I should know this, and you just can't get there. Yes.
Hey, it was in the tray.
Oh no!
It was in the
It
tray.
was not #blessed, but you
Wasn't.
can be. shop.questandchaos.com.
Go get one.
They're actually really great. They're nice and soft. I've got 2 of them that just ride in my backpack at all times in case I need to spontaneously play D&D at any time. It's great. Anyway, Stewart, did you have an actual...
No, I was just selling
okay.
merch.
No, that's fine.
I have an actual question. Are there any magical qualities about this diadem? Anything we should know about before we touch it?
Ooh, that's a good.
The best of my knowledge, this particular diadem was never directly enchanted. It is incredibly valuable. It's studded with rubies, and the total value has got to be at least 2,000 gold, possibly more to the right, hands the right collectors. You can see again why it would be a high mark prize for someone like Vidorant to obtain, and why I am so keen on having it returned. But again, that is but one of many treasures in her collection, and I presume that some of them quite probably do have definitive magical properties.
Well, I don't want to speak for everyone, but I'm certainly interested in taking the job.
Yes, of course.
In getting the chance to meet the legendary Vidorant? I mean, come on! How we pass this up?
Huey, hopefully we're not meeting her.
Don't meet her. We don't want to meet her.
This is
We wanna
simply a infiltration.
take her stuff.
Retrieval.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's
the
fun
opposite
too.
of what we want.
Yeah. I mean, distraction,
Yeah.
possibly.
If you should happen to meet her, just remember that she is very well dressed, very well spoken, and very good at getting her own way. She's been a thorn in my side for years, particularly relating to this item, and if you do end up trying to negotiate with her for any reason, just remember that she should not be trusted.
Absolutely.
I can't think of a single time in our history that she's been directly honest. And I can't imagine that's unique to our relationship.
Fair enough. Do we have any other questions?
Where's the vault?
Hidden deep within the city. We've had some leads. It's probably somewhere in the warehouse district. That would make the most sense as a place where you could sort of place an unmarked building full of incredibly valuable treasures and protect it without it drawing too much attention. We haven't been able to directly locate it as of yet. We do know that many of her guards haunt the local bars down toward the west end of things. Again, sort of on the outskirts of the warehouse district, which is part of why I would assume that's where the vault itself is. You don't want to, you don't usually spend too much time getting too far from work before you stop in for a pint.
How long ago was the falling out between you two?
Oh, I mean, we have a very long, sordid history. It's not worth getting too deep into. It's always been a bit difficult between us. It was, well, let's just say we ceased operating with one another and doing business together about 8 or 9 months ago. But, it's been off and on prior to that, so.
And you are the one that is heading the organization. She has left?
Correct. When I received the overwhelming results of the election to become the new head of the Silverfinger Society, Vidorant decided that she no longer wished to continue with our organization. One doesn't ever really leave, you understand, given the nature of what we do, but one can choose to cease to continue operations under our protections and utilizing our resources.
I'm sorry, what does a typical day in the life look like for you
For me?
and yours?
I get up at 6 a.m., work out, have a hearty breakfast, write a few chapters of my memoirs. That takes me
You're a
to about
writer.
8 p.m. I mean, nothing professional, but I figure if I start now, I'll have, a couple hundred years to refine them by the time I'm ready to publish. And that takes me to about 8 p.m. when I start having meetings from 8 p.m. until, off and on until about noon. Then lunch. I keep my afternoons open for dealing with any underlings who need to be involved in deeper discussions, or if any operations require my hands-on involvement. I sup early, usually by about 6 or 7, and then the rest of my evening is dedicated to whatever drinking and debauchery I see fit. Always in bed by midnight. It's important to keep a schedule when you're running an organization.
Routine.
That 6 hours of sleep really do ya.
It's all you need, really. The first 2 is just the hypnagogic state. It doesn't count for anything. As long as you can hit it hard and then come right back up at the end of 6, you're fine.
Is this an ice bath, bro?
You kind of sense he might be.
Oh no. Okay.
This guy definitely looks like he's, in addition to being the head of a clearly sketchy organization based on how much he's deliberately not saying and expecting you all to just know, you also do get the sense that this guy probably takes a lot of green shots instead of eating throughout his day. He does also look, he looks pretty hardy. He's already a dwarf, but he is a fit dwarf, so
Nice.
something's working for him. probably several hundred underlings.
So yeah, I mean,
I think we're in.
Yeah, we got this.
Wonderful. Good luck, I guess. Unfortunately, as you are not members of the society, we can't really extend too many of our resources to you, but I will provide you with this, and he slides the card forward again, as a means of contact if anything should truly require skills beyond what you have access to. Since this is also sort of serving, though, as your membership test, I would hope you would have access to everything you might need.
Just, is there one name of a particular tavern where they might be? Or do we just go and just start hitting them all?
We could just.
We could hit them all. I mean,
absolutely start hitting them all, and we could drink for free.
Good. I have been told by previous unsuccessful attemptees of this recovery that there is a very talkative gnomish woman who they believe to be one of Vidorant's employees. She wears the badge that we believe may be an identifying factor for them. Again, no one's really gotten close enough yet to confirm this, but best intel we have. And she seems to frequent a pub sort of on the edge of the warehouse district called the Prancing Otyugh.
You know, I've never seen an Otyugh prance.
Neither have I. I'm not sure if it's meant to be ironic, if it's one of those hipster bars, or if it's just,
Yeah, how much fit?
Have you seen many Otyughs? I've only ever seen one, and it was in a zoo. Well, zoo's a strong term. Private collection.
In my particular line of business, yes, we deal with some unsavory sort.
Oh, hopefully you'll be better prepared for this little mission than some of our last attempted recruits.
I was gonna say, other people have attempted this. What happened to them?
They were unsuccessful.
Uh-huh.
And then?
Well, they're not members of the society, are they?
So when you say they're not members of the society, do you mean in a employed sense or a living sense?
I'm gonna let you in on a little secret about the SCHITTY.
That's it. That's the
Thank you so much for joining us.
We'll see you all next week.
Tell us about the city
Kept it together too. We were so close.
Tell us about the city, Stewart.
Yes.
Bodies often just show up on the streets. Some of them are victims of horrible gang violence. Some of them are random street thugs. Some of them die on their own.
So I'm gonna guess the latter, and I'm gonna stop asking questions.
You know, there's a certain amount of asking questions that's very valuable and important, and then there's even greater wisdom sometimes in knowing when to stop, and I applaud you for that.
I have one last question.
Of course.
Friend of mine taught me everything I know. Last name of Silverbeard. Have you heard of a Silverbeard?
I'm familiar with the Silverbeard clan.
Theodorus Silverbeard? Name ring a bell?
Why are you asking?
Just, you know, haven't seen him in a while, left a long time ago, didn't say goodbye, just wondering.
I'll make some inquiries.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
Of course. Anything else I can do for you? I do apologize. I wish I had a better dossier of information to provide. Unfortunately, we're operating with very little, which is why we've put out this challenge, and with such high rewards involved.
Well, we've done more with less, so I think we're up to the challenge.
Yeah, we got a talkative gnomish woman and the Prancing Otyugh.
Yeah. In that case, I have another appointment, and I will take my leave. Thank you. I wish you great success in your mission.
Thank you.
He gets up, kind of gives a little bow, and he leaves.
So I'm kind of glad that Priscilla's our boss.
A question for you, Verity. Was he not supposed to know we're Golden Vault?
I don't remember how much Priscilla told him about that.
You would actually know. You would know. You and Priscilla specifically designed this cover so that you did not have to acknowledge Golden Vault, which is why she did not attend this meeting.
Okay. Yeah. So we designed it so we didn't have to mention it. So I think your cover was a good instinct.
Okay. All right. Good.
I've done some work with these people in the past years ago, just a low level stuff, and they're one of those organizations where you can't really, they do what they do very well, and it's hard to kind of pin them down, and because they're just like the mob, how you can't really prosecute them.
Right, you gotta get them on tax evasion.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And my friend.
Yeah, it seems like if there was someone on the inside that could, I don't know, help bring down something like this.
Can I like peek my head out the door and just be like, "Hey, Dave, could we get another round?"
Yeah.
Great.
Right up.
Dave might know.
He pops in a couple minutes later with another pitcher of Neverwinter iced tea,
Great.
and like flight of like weirdly colored shots, which he sets on the table in front of the empty chair. He's like, no, yeah, I mean, you guys can help yourself. That way he can. You immediately see one that's got like some weird green liquid in it, like tips over, and the liquid starts disappearing.
I just hand the business card to him.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Yikes. Well, good luck.
Can you tell us anything?
You actually don't. Yeah, no, these guys, this is like the most elite criminal organization in Faerun. Like, not like, like, we work around a lot of criminal, there's a lot of gangs around Varkenheim, right? Like, Stewart, you, I'm sure you've seen your fair share of them. No, these guys are like, stealing the crown jewels off the queen while she's wearing them level good. That's kind of their vibe. We all know they did it. No one can catch them.
What if we stole the crown jewels?
I was gonna say, Gemma, do we need a gang name? I mean, we've got so many.
I mean, we have a pen name, but we definitely don't want it to do anything with that.
No.
We got to keep them separate.
Yeah. Well, do we send that to the editor yet?
Is Petey's Poppers not your gang name? That's what all the kids have been telling me. Was that not sanctioned?
Subsect.
Okay. Just checking.
It's not that it's not good.
It's just not good.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I will fight Petey on this. That is not a good name.
To be fair, I'm not sure if Petey came up with it. That might have been some of the younger kids, because.
Okay.
But yeah.
Is that assuming we are Petey's parents?
That's a great question. I still don't know how old Petey is. Petey is somewhere between the ages of 10 and 1,000, as best I can tell. I have no clue if that's an actual child or not.
I will say I do approve his use of alliteration.
Yeah.
Very rare talent.
Nice. We have a poet right here. We could put it to the poet. Yeah. That was alliteration too.
Yeah. Anyway, Silverfinger Societies, not great guys. Impossible to prosecute.
Okay.
For now.
I mean, look, I'm not saying I like them. I'm just saying I have worked with them before.
Actually, all of Faerun, not like this Varkenheim.
I mean, they've got a real big
Neverwinter.
stronghold around here, but they've got operatives in every major city across the continent.
Yeah. Maybe it's better just to get on their good side instead.
Yeah, maybe I won't write that song about this. Trying to think of my thing of a rat.
You just need to speak in metaphor.
Yeah, just a lot of illusionary language.
Yeah.
Or illusionary, depending on what kind of bardic magic you do. I don't judge.
I cast my illusion. Did nothing for the text.
Okay, so we gotta go talk to a gnomish woman at this bar.
The Prancing Otyugh?
Otyugh.
Oh, it's an Otyugh. It's a vile creature lives in the sewers, and
Yeah, weird bard name, right? I'm not sure why they would have picked that. It's not really the kind of critter you want to name your bar after, I would think.
well, it probably keeps
I mean, if it's
the locals
prancing,
away.
Fair point.
Oh. Looking it up on my sending zone. Oh. You see that?
Yeah, they're not great.
Yeah. Oh, they sting too.
Oh,
Yeah.
that is
Yeah.
kind of cool, but oh no.
Yeah.
No.
On the other side, they do eat the waste
Refuse?
and the refuse, so they are
ecologically friendly.
Yeah.
Okay. We like
You just don't want to hang out with them.
we like recycling.
Everything for the most part has a place in society once you spend a little time figuring it out. Right? Any other questions or alcohol I can get you?
No, but could we borrow a few glasses?
You want lock-me-downs or?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll get you the plasticware.
I could use some food.
Oh, yeah, plasticware and nachos?
Oh,
Street tacos,
nachos.
since you're leaving, it sounds like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can take a few minutes for nachos.
No, it's okay.
I mean, I don't know.
Burrito.
Burrito. I can do burrito.
Yeah.
What about a nacho burrito?
I can put the nachos inside. I can just roll the nachos up in the
those
tortilla.
burritos, nachos. Gracias.
Great. I'll do a whole round. Hyacinth, raw? And you just hear a weird little, like, chitter noise. Great.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about him.
Yeah, I'll have those up in like 10, 15 minutes if you guys want to just finish your drinks or whatever and chat. I'll be right back.
So, you don't think they're going to recycle us if we go to the Prancing Otyugh, do you?
I can't guarantee that.
Yeah.
What's the play here?
Well, first off, I am somewhat familiar with the area. And the area is somewhat familiar with me from my time before. So,
You have a disguised self.
I do. In fact, I have one stored on this ring right here.
I have a costume.
So, we can. So I shouldn't be a problem as long as I don't have like dispel magic or anti-magic fields when you walk in.
We could do a regular normal disguise and just.
Good. Yeah.
Is it weird? Is it weird that like high up their criminal organization wants us to get his grandma's crown back?
You know,
And it's only worth 2,000 gold. Like.
Yeah.
that's a lot of gold.
Would I happen to have any idea of the history of how much that thing should actually
I'm
be
just
worth?
saying. We just swap out the rubies. It's worth a little less, but
It's all the skill sets right there.
Right, I have a minus
Entire
one.
business.
That's fine.
14.
14. An average commoner in Faerun makes 10 copper a 10 day. 2,000 gold is a lot of goddamn
A lot of money.
It may not feel like it to all of you guys who are saving up for flying brooms and magical tattoos, but like compared to an average human being around here, that's an absolutely enormous amount of money. That's it. You would need to kind of see it to be able to. You have seen some artifacts in your time, and you have some knowledge of history. So, what you would assume with something like that is either that she was not actually maybe she was not the most skilled smith, or her smithing talents were not particularly attuned to this type of smithing, and so she made maybe a simpler crown. So it's worth a little bit less, or it could be that the value of this is getting downplayed by this guy.
Would I be able to add my history to that then?
Sure, yeah, go ahead.
Then it would be a dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Best guess is you're not as familiar with dwarven culture, but possibly her smithing was not attuned for jewelry making. If she was either not a smithing dwarf or just was like more focused on like weaponry, and it doesn't translate to the niceness and fineness of a crown. Maybe she made something that was a little bit lesser value to just get through the ceremony and get it done. Could be that this dude was downplaying how much it's worth because he wants to make sure that he gets it. Like, impressing the value that, like, this is important, but he doesn't want you guys to get any ideas about keeping it yourselves. Or there could be some other factor here that you wouldn't know unless you saw it.
Okay. It was funny you said I'm not familiar with Dwarven culture, because Dwarvish is actually one of my languages.
Well, I mean, knowing the language.
I'm basically a Dwarven weeb.
Honestly, I will buy that explanation. Maybe you do know more about Dwarven culture, but again, the biggest thing is like it's hard to tell without seeing the object itself. Also, because it is not magical, it may also be that it's made with slightly like just general precious materials and not precious materials that are also designed to store magic, which would automatically increase the value of this thing. So.
I know something about this, but I just can't remember. It's like right there.
So this is kind of the weird thing about this. Like either,
There's something kind of big about the fact that this queen made her own crown, and it should be worth a good deal more than 2,000, I think, unless she did a really, really bad job making it.
But that's normal. Like, dwarven queens make the crowns. That happens. Like, But, yeah, it seems weird.
I'm just wondering why it's not worth more. She really messed up.
Both of you guys, with your dwarven knowledge backgrounds, and I think maybe Stewart too, just because of your knowledge of the area and stuff, go ahead and give me history, intelligence, something in that vein for...
Don't wanna touch
That is a
dice.
nat 20.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not bad at all. 18. History.
14.
Okay. I have to double check so I say the right names. As you guys kind of are spitballing this about like this seems really weird. You're less familiar with the Blessidor name. You've heard the Goldenbeard name before. Maybe you may not have like major memories of it, but you're like, and most of the Goldenbeards that you can think of, in a more urban context. They're business people in the city, which tracks with this guy, right? What you saw here. You kind of also pick up on that. You're like, now that I'm thinking about it, the Goldenbeards, maybe that's what's ringing the bell. Is that? But you're also thinking back. You're like, you remember there's something about Blessidor, and then suddenly with the nat 20, you kind of get the burst of remembering that the Blessidor clan that this queen came from, which then through marriages and relationships kind of merged into the Goldenbeard clan. They were not primarily like smiths and mining dwarves. They were more like technological entrepreneurs. So they were less about the active like smithing. They would have been more about creating machinery to process the smithed material faster. Ooh. Or to like tumble the gems on a higher scale. They were leaning a little more into that artificery vibes as opposed to just the straight up classic like direct mining. The other thing that you specifically remember, Huey, as this kind of comes to you is that is partially because the Blessidor and Goldenbeard clans are more located in toward the southern end of things, and more of the dwarves that are more focused on like the very active like resource mining are in the north. That would be more like the Axebreaker clan.
Okay. So Smiths in the south, refiners in the north.
Other way around.
Sorry. Refiners in the north,
Yeah.
Smiths in the south.
And that's not like the resources are where the resources are. So it depends. There's some in the desert too, just depending on what they're looking for. But the kind of more southern, urbanized areas of the Sword Coast have a lot of these kind of dwarves that leaned more into that artificer, refinery, machinery side of things. So it may just be as simple as that she was from a clan. Like, this is still part of like the culture, but she's from the side of the clan where like they're no, the ancestors all learned how to farm, and then I went to school to be a computer programmer, so I don't know how to shear the sheep real good. I learned just for this ceremony.
Basically, it's the south's the quality, the north's the quantity.
Kind of.
Yeah.
As you know, it all kind of makes sense now.
Yeah. I still can't get over the phrase dwarven weeb. I'm gonna use that forever now. It's very good.
So I know we're going to do this. We're going to kick ass.
Every time.
You did hear him when he said no one actually leaves his organization.
I did retire from them a few years ago.
Oh, you did?
But I was also very low level.
Okay.
So they kind of just let me just kind of retire. But I think any higher, and I don't think I would have actually been able to leave.
Okay.
Per se.
Okay.
So,
but it is possible.
depending on how high up you decide to go.
Stewart, do you know what I do for a living?
You run like a cool store.
Uh-huh.
It's a very cool story.
I don't even know what I do for a living. But it's
safer
more
that way.
But it's more similar to that than what you might think. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm not uncomfortable with that. But I understand if you want to decline membership. I think you could just decline the membership.
I'm just saying that,
Okay.
some of their members show up dead on my streets because they had no more use for them. That's all.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah.
It's like 6:30. This was not a very long meeting. Maybe 6:45. These were not very long meetings. Dave rolls back in with just like a stack of burritos. There's like, he basically, this is meat and veggie. This is just veggie. This is just meat. This one is raw meat rolled up to look like a burrito. That's for Hyacinth. They're all foil wrapped, so you can take them to go or whatever. He also brings a bunch of like Trenta-sized cups full of various alcohols. Just like, here you go. I guess I'll put it on your tab, which is Priscilla's tab.
Perfect.
Excellent.
I think maybe we should get on our way, because I think the sooner we're done with this one, the better.
Hyacinth, are you coming with, or are you?
You see the air kind of like ripples again. Hyacinth appears and just kind of like looks around, like shrugs.
You want to go to a bar? I know Devin's not here, but we could go to a bar. Maybe Devin will be there.
We can look in the dumpsters on our way.
Exactly. No, he hasn't been doing the dumpsters. He's been doing the cured meat thing with the meat people and like.
He has his own little traveling car. It's really cute, actually. Yeah.
He's doing great.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I've been away for a while.
It's sort of a front for our deliveries sometimes. It's great.
Right.
Great use of recycling.
And you deliver jewelry without precious gems in them.
What?
What? Anyway.
Okay, I'm all for getting going, but again, what is our play here? Are we going in trying to figure out where we're infiltrating? Are we trying to do it silently? Are we trying to charm our way in and figure out if we can take it? That didn't seem like a good idea, but it's an idea.
What if we acted like double agents?
That's my kind of plan.
If we were double agents, then
Super secret.
then we would be.
This might be the one I die on.
Frowny face, tombstone emoji, flower emoji, mimosa emoji.
Yeah, I finished explaining that.
So, going undercover, reconnaissance.
Some kind of
gathers-
combination of stealth and charming our way in.
I mean, I think we need to find the location first. So it's
Yeah.
going to be charming this gnomish woman.
Are you going to be charming the gnomish woman? Is the missus going to be okay with that?
Oh, I'm actually hoping that our musically inclined poet over there would be.
I think I can string up a few tunes to catch their interest and enthrall them.
I think it was a great idea. Okay.
What disguise are you wearing?
I think I'm like digging through my back. I think I have a
First
mustache
mustache.
in here.
I need a mustache.
Okay.
got
Yep.
it.
Oh, here you go. So wait, hold on.
Is it a big mustache?
It is a strongman circus mustache.
Oh, perfect.
It is humongous.
Have one of those.
So much of your face.
It's just whoosh.
Very 2012 right now.
And there's some sideburns in here that go with it. Do you want the sideburns?
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
Okay, hold on. Let me comb them out a little bit. They don't really match, but I'm sorry. Slightly different color.
Let's see what else Stewart.
Taking some spirit gum and just like tacking it onto your face.
Cool. Verity. You're kind of going back through your mental Rolodex of your time working with the Silverfinger Society, and you do recall that a lot of these like higher up, like super elite members or whatever would end up sort of incidentally kind of having their own little like mini crew, or even just like kind of almost groupies internally. So it seems like there's a likely possibility if Vidorant is no longer like actively functioning as a member of the Silverfingers, it does seem likely that either she took some of the other members who were like, you know, devoted fans of hers with her when she left, or that she had to leave and then hire an all new crew of people who were unaffiliated. You definitely, based on also what Goldenbeard said, she's got to have a bunch of these guards. If she's got that much treasure, like even if it's in kind of a hidden warehouse or whatever, she's got to have a lot of guards. And you remember from stories you heard about takes that happened during your time working there, she scored big often. So there is a good possibility that she's got a lot of very highly powerful items. She's going to have like a small army of people working for her. There's got to be some way to track down who those people might be, or at least one of them, and where they're coming from. That can't go fully unnoticed. You just have to kind of know the right place to look.
Okay.
So, I think at this point, as you guys are packing up and getting ready to go, this is where we are going to actually do a little rewind. As Verity is kind of lost in thought. And we see about 2 p.m. this afternoon, before this meeting occurred. Verity, where is it that you kind of hang out?
He's got like a little hut that he kind of hangs out in. He's got like in the front of it, he's got a little booth that he sometimes sits at where he'll do like readings for people that come by to like, he'll pay them a little bit for it, and then oftentimes they'll kind of steal their purse.
Yeah, the little storefront, like palmistry place with a house in the back situation. Yeah.
So he's sometimes there, sometimes he's just relaxing, just enjoying the retired life. Doesn't have to be anywhere, so he can do whatever he wants.
I think you're probably hanging out just at the house, ready to pop out for a reading if anybody shows up, but maybe just, you know, making tea, having a snack, enjoying life. You get a knock on the door. You don't have any appointments booked.
I'll kind of glance toward the front.
You kind of glance toward the front and you see kind of the silhouette of somebody standing who is clearly standing in such a way that you can, like, they have identified to stand where you can see them through the window. It's somebody you have not seen in a long time. It is Priscilla Tyga. The last time you saw her, you guys were at a high court function in the Sealy court. Neither of you wanted to be there. And you were both, you kept kind of crossing paths because you both kept like dodging out onto the balcony under the excuse of getting some air to avoid having to talk to people.
Okay. I'll go open the door.
Verity.
Of all the palmistry joints in all the towns in all the world.
You know me, I'm a sucker for a cliche. Mind if I come in?
Of course. Make yourself comfortable.
Well, I'll do my best. How retired are you feeling today?
Well, I guess depends on what you're offering. I've, kind of started to enjoy the retired life.
See, that's a problem. The second you start enjoying something too much, they take it away from you. It goes for the big box store. When you like the brand of chips, they change it. Also goes for work. We've got sort of a problem.
What's wrong?
The rivalry between the Silverfingers and the Golden Vault is flaring up again. Silverfingers is edging in on territory they're not supposed to touch.
I'm listening.
I don't know how in the loop you are. There was a coup of sorts
I did hear about
last leader
Goldenbeard
died.
and
Yes.
Vidorant.
Yes, I mean, not that anybody was surprised that the two of them were at each other's throats. They've been doing it for years now, but it's finally come to a head and one of them's come out on top, which means trouble for everyone. And it's a little worse than that because unfortunately for our side of things, it was Goldenbeard. And he's making other deals.
We don't want that.
He's publicly offered, well, as publicly as they ever do, you know their bag, but he has made it known in the underground circles that he's looking for someone to steal his grand something's crown back from Vidorant. That, I don't remember if you heard much about the incident. It was the one that nearly got him arrested.
It was all the underlings were talking about it.
Fairly difficult since then. I don't know that you ever worked with him. I did. And this can't just be about the crown. It seems highly unlikely. He's not that... I mean, he's petty, but not about that.
And doesn't seem the sentimental type.
No. And for him to have even unrelated underlings risk drawing attention to the society and to themselves by going after Vidorant seems like a calculated error, unless he's up to something else. There are also rumors that he's negotiating with another clan. So I think there's some backdoor dealings going on. Crown might be a smokescreen, and I'm concerned. I obviously can't try to do anything about it, because he knows me.
So that's why you want me.
You already have an in. I can give you a crew.
Okay.
Golden Vault will subsidize it. They've already given me the approvals for that. And perhaps if you all can go in, you can figure out what's going on from the inside using your connections and their various skills.
All right. You son of a bitch, I think I'm in.
I was hoping you might be. Do be careful.
Of course.
I don't think this is going to go particularly well, and I don't have as many eyes and ears on anyone from Silverfingers as I once did. So we're a little bit flying in the dark here. I do have eyes and ears on the other potential party involved.
Okay.
Which is honestly the one I'm more concerned about. So I'll keep an eye on that from my end, if you can keep an eye on my team from the
I can do
inside.
that.
Great! I will set up a meeting with Goldenbeard, through your name, of course, and we'll see what we can do.
I understand. All right. Well, good to see you. I guess just let me know when to meet you.
Say hello to the Countess for me next time she deigns to show up. I don't think she's forgiven me for that
Oh, yeah.
fairy shrimp incident yet, but she'll have to talk to me at some point.
You know, they're always like that at those events.
Incredibly fickle.
Yeah.
Well, meeting's at 6 p.m. tonight.
All right. I'll see you there.
With the team. Hopefully I can get Goldenbeard there too. He seemed eager to discuss, but I didn't want to throw down your name until I had you on board.
No, I understand.
All right. Well, see you then. Hope you're still not allergic to rabbits, because I'll be sending him along too.
Oh, Hyacinth, how is he?
As murderous as ever. He's made a friend, though, which is quite unusual.
Interesting.
Yes, some poor sad fellow who's desperately trying to get back to the astral plane. I think Hyacinth thinks of him as a pet project. Or just a pet. I'm not entirely sure.
All right. Well, I'll see you at 6 then.
Very good. I'll meet you. She pulls a card out of her pocket. That's your transport and has the address on the back.
Perfect.
Unless you want to walk, or you can just teleport, depending on how you're feeling.
Yeah, I'll see how I'm feeling.
Very good. She gives you a little bow. She departs. We come back to the present. It's 7 p.m. You guys are loaded with burritos and to-go cups of booze.
Stewart's not drinking.
Fair enough. Double fisting burritos.
Yes.
Absolutely. But you've got all of your accoutrement, and you all are headed toward the Prancing Otyugh. Try to find a talkative gnome or anybody else who might work for Vidorant. And that is where we're going to take our break. Because it's just a nice natural break point. It's so convenient. Thank you all for watching. We will be back very, very shortly. So stick around, talk amongst yourselves. I'll peek in the chat later and see what you guys have to say about this. We'll be back as soon as enough of us who need to use the bathroom and refill beverages have done so. See you soon.
We built this shitty.
I will have it be known that he did that on his own, did not tell me, and I probably get blamed for that. Well played, sir.
If you would have
Well
told
played.
me, I would have sung the harmony. Oh
Sorry,
my god.
I didn't think of it until the countdown started.
Welcome back, everyone, to Keys of the Golden Ball. We are in episode 1 of the level 7 module, Vidorant's Vault. Our team has just accepted a job from a very slick dwarf who is clearly part of a what one might call an organized criminal organization. Heavy implications there. There was a lot of not expressly saying what they do or why they do it or what happens if you don't do it well enough, which tells them everything they need to know. They have accepted this job with a little bit of like sideways nudging and blessing from their handler Priscilla, who has also introduced them to Verity, who was introduced as the team leader and seems to be sort of standing in on Priscilla's behalf because, as the audience has learned and our characters have not, Verity and Priscilla might know a little more about what's going on in this organization than everybody else. But currently, the party is now standing outside a bar in the warehouse district of Varkenheim, by which I mean there's a bunch of warehouses, and one of them has then been converted into a bar and dance space. It is currently blaring just some loud, sort of like heavy synth pop, kind of 70s vibed music. There's a cluster of people milling outside, and it seems to be a mixture of folks who are like dressed to dance and a bunch of folks who are just dressed in sort of like their workwear from the warehouses, some jumpsuits or, you know, your kind of like t-shirt and jeans vibe of folks who have just gotten off shift and have hopped on down to, you know, get a drink and hang out for a little bit before they head home. This is the Prancing Otyugh. You all have arrived in your varying degrees of disguises and costuming to blend in and hopefully not be recognized by anyone who, I don't know, might have had run-ins with the law in the past.
Law? What law? There's no law.
There's no law. Definitely no law in this group.
Not us. Definitely not us. We're too fabulous for that.
So, as you roll up, Gemma, you recognize the bouncer. Here, the bouncer is a beefy half-orc woman named Kathrog, who has joined you and Dave and some of your friends from poker night before. So you're not super good friends, but you've met. You know each other.
Yeah.
She kind of spots you and kind of waves like, "Hey!
Hi. I didn't know you worked down here.
Oh yeah, it's a pretty new gig. You coming to party? I didn't think this was your scene. I figured you were usually out toward the university.
No,
but...
one of the patrons at Dave's bar today was like, "Oh, you should go check this place out." And then we heard good things about theming, so.
Hey, yeah, I mean, you know, it's not my genre, but pays bills. So like, yeah, hop on in. No cover tonight. Just pop in, tip your bartender.
Absolutely, always.
Yeah. No, but seriously, tip your bartender, everybody. It's really important. Anyway, go on in. Legal. Cool. Yeah, let's go. She does not card any of you.
I'm sorry. How do you? What's the?
Oh, from our poker night. She's really good.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
She definitely wins a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Stewart kind of hangs back before, you know, he wants to be the last one to go in. Kind of.
If you want to be fully separate from the group so that you're not associated with them, that is also totally fine.
Probably, but not that far. Just
Yeah.
a little bit.
Yeah, just not part of the cluster.
And then going to be super suspicious when he does in his, you know, dock
Yeah.
worker outfit and stuff, and goes up to the bouncer
Braga. Yeah.
and just goes and slips over a gold piece. I was never here. And goes inside.
All right. You know drinking's legal now. Prohibition ended like 2 centuries ago. Like, it's fine. I'm not going to tell your wife. I don't even know if you're married.
Oh, that makes Stewart sweat.
Stuart's suddenly like,
Wait a minute.
How did you know?
Oh, I forgot to declare this. We would have given Stewart and Huey the earring messages. The earrings
Yes.
of message
So we can talk to each other?
You can talk to each other.
to each
Okay.
other.
The two of you can.
Yeah.
Okay.
great. Cool. Who are you giving your token to?
That's a great question because I usually give it to Stuart.
It's a friendship bracelet.
I think I just give it to Stuart. Okay. It's like,
Because he's being separate from the group.
Okay.
there you go.
This again.
Stuart gets his favorite, an earring and a bracelet of hair to go with his very masculine dog worker. He also gets a bit from Leanna, as does Gemma.
Almost in the cup.
Nice.
From
Thank you
Ocean,
so
I guess.
much. Oceans, we miss you.
Yeah.
Come back. You have so much horrible family lore. It's so good. Anyway, you all make your way into this warehouse. Inside, really nice setup. There's a massive dance floor. Very classic, like way too loud of music that is mostly bass. Lots of bright flashing lights. There's a bar along one side, and then you also see a set of, metal stairs that are leading up to what looks like a maybe more enclosed lounge area that looks like it's maybe set up, you're gonna guess possibly second bar up there, and a slightly quieter area for people who don't want quite as much of the pounding dance floor. But yeah, the vibes are immaculate. Lots of people starting to dance. We're right at that 7:30 time, but it seems like it's picking up. Looks like a fair number of probably university students or university adjacent. Also a couple of people who you think might be faculty. And then just a lot of the local dock workers. A good balance of both sides on the dance floor and sitting at the bar.
Stuart's gonna just see where everyone went so he can be
The dance
close
floor.
but not.
Yeah, definitely dancing with Gemma.
Yeah.
Just fully.
Verity is totally getting into it. This is the music of his youth. Just totally transported, just going all out on the dance floor.
Amazing.
Dope.
Huey's also dancing. It's not fully there. It's like, it feels like the music's like, there's something missing, but I can't put my finger on it.
Yeah. Doing that
But he's-
classic, I could make this better, but how?
Yeah. But still trying to dance to fit in and just.
Cool. You guys are all grooving on the dance floor. So you come in past or have that brief little twinge of wait, what does that mean? And see that all of your compatriots are boogieing down.
So here I will get an ale and use my thieving ability just to gather whatever info I can find. Look around, spot exits, spot anyone who looks like they're employees, while also keeping an eye on the dance floor.
Go ahead and give me perception and investigation, Sloan.
I was gonna say I am grooving, but I'm also looking around and trying to guide Stewart or be with Stewart in this.
Everybody who wants can go kind of into that perception direction.
Oh yeah.
So I'm keeping an eye out for any gnomes that might stand out.
Oh yeah.
Gnomes.
I've also got a guiding whispers. I can do the guidance cantrip at a distance, so I will give guidance to each of you.
Wow.
I appreciate that. Do I have to use it now?
I think you have it for 10.
I don't remember how.
Cool,
1
because
minute. You
It's
don't have
one-
to use
I
it on your
think
natural
it's 1
20.
Yes, thank you. I was about to ask.
No.
It's up to a minute. Yeah.
Up to a minute, okay. 10 rounds, that's what it is.
Okay, I used mine.
Great.
For dirty 20.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20.
Natural 20.
Perception.
Perception.
God.
Is this an investigation check?
You can make an investigation check. Roll a
Okay.
perception or
yeah,
investigation.
15 investigation.
Okay.
15 investigation as well.
No.
You.
No. We're just partying. I didn't even roll.
I didn't roll
Here to
either.
vibe.
You're
I'm
dance-
I'm just passing out the help.
You're just guidance.
You've turned it into a very really
Yeah.
cool dance move that is actually very genre appropriate because you're like, oh no, we used to do this all the time in high school, and everyone is like very impressed at how limber this kind of older looking gentleman is. They're very into it. Great. I'm gonna say, Sloan, with your check, what you mostly get is you're able to get like a pretty quick assessment of the layout. And you are seeing that like the class mix here fits what you would expect to be the kind of hangout you're looking for. This is a place where you've got a good mix of like students, workers. Like, this is not a super bougie bar, but it's not a total dive. It looks like it has been developed into this kind of dance bar situation to make it a little bit more upscale, but still friendly to the local workers where they can just come and sit and get a drink. It also looks like it is very well set up that this is absolutely a place where you could do a deal in a dark corner pretty easily if you needed to. Which is exactly the vibes of what you're looking for. You're also able on that 15 to kind of start to get a sense of like where the clusters are, but there's also just a lot going on, so it's gonna
Gemma's
take a
really
second.
cool and dancing really cool. I think I'm just
Gemma and Verity are grooving incredibly hard.
Oh my god, yeah.
Kind of distracting.
Verity is very distracting as well.
Yeah, you were not expecting Verity to bust a move
19.
as hard as that. Stewart and Huey. I'm going to say you guys kind of respectively notice things. Huey, being that you are very into the music, one of the first things you notice is you kind of look over to like essentially like the DJ's booth. You notice that this seems to be the one place aside from like the bouncer at the door where there looks like there's maybe some guarding. It looks like the DJ is spinning, and it looks like there's a couple of people posted on either side of the DJ booth who are also functioning as kind of bouncers. You're not. It's hard to tell if they're there because of the DJ or if it's just that's a logical place for them to be able to kind of see what's going on in general. But that is kind of the one place where you clearly clock like that's security, you know. You're also a little better than Sloan, able to kind of start to clock where some of the different clusters are. You definitely find like that's the like maybe kind of like sorority party that's over in that corner, and that's, you know, that corner is where a bunch of the crusty old dock worker type guys have just posted up at a table to like play cards and drink. You know, they like apparently don't mind the music, so they're just hanging out. You're able to sort of start to cluster groups, which allows you to start to segment who is associated to what. Stewart, you're kind of getting the same thing Huey is, but you're more on kind of the bar side of things. So you're able to kind of take a look at the bar and see who is sitting at this bar, and clock that you do have people who are in uniforms of some sort that are dock worker, but not quite. Like, you start to kind of get that pattern reference where it's like, you're too clean to be working in a warehouse. Like, you're wearing the right clothes, but you're too clean to have been working in a warehouse. And like, kind of going down the row. Huey, you also start to pick up on that with your, you know, we got an unnatural and natural 20. You are the first one to notice that at the end of the bar, there is a gnome and a human who are sitting. They are dressed in sort of like the coverall situation that you would expect. Maybe she's got hers kind of folded down and tied around her waist so that her like t-shirt is bare. He's still got his up, but it's kind of unzipped because it's warm in here. They're too clean to have been working in a warehouse. And they both have a color on color embroidery on like the breast pocket and on the back of their jumpsuit. So it's an embroidery that's the same thread color as these like jumpsuits or whatever that they're wearing. But when they turn and the light hits it just right and you get the like spin of the disco ball kind of like things like that, you can kind of get that dimensionality of it. And you see that it is a stylized emblem that looks like it could be the letters N and V.
Okay, then I kind of, since I have the earring of sending, Stewart, at the end of the bar.
Stewart looks to the
You've been making the scan,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Even a gnome.
with the little extra, just like, oh, focus it over here, you're able to spot them. Gnome, human man, he's just drinking, like facing square onto the bar, just like two-handed drinking. She is like spun on her stool to be like facing him, and looks like her mouth has not closed the entire time she's been here. She is just going. You can't hear them because they're on like much further down the bar than you right now. She is very in-depth telling him about something.
I will relay that to Gemma. Found the gnome.
Oh, you can't tell me.
No?
I can talk to you.
Well,
It's really just
I do
Gemma
that.
singing lyrics to whatever song is
It's just
going.
Gemma.
Every so
Vera-
often, you just get these weird
Yeah.
snatches of
Gemma and
disco
Verity just
songs.
having a blast.
Verity's
Okay.
a really good dancer, Stewart.
I'm gonna take that out.
I just. Do I notice that Gemma's like not picking up on the hint or the clue?
Oh yeah, you guys are very. With those high up rolls, and I think even Sloan, you're a little bit more like diverted by it because you're right in the middle of the dance floor. You two are easily able to clock and be like, Gemma's a little off track.
So if that's the case, I'm gonna start doing a very dumb interpretive dance. Basically showing like, hey, talking gnome.
You just get up and start like it's
Yeah.
half voguing and half trying to just be like,
No,
look
gnome.
over there.
We knew you were a songwriter. We didn't know you danced too.
Oh my god, you have to
Oh
add
my-
choreography. We need like an unseen servant to play for you.
Yes.
Or something like that. Like, oh my god, wait, are you trying to say something here? I'm not sure what's happening.
I think this is just a contested like.
Yeah.
I think this is like your,
Insight?
perception or insight versus your performance.
Okay.
So,
Now I can use that guidance.
yeah.
1d4?
Yes.
Oh, I cast guidance. I also cast guidance.
Guidance, D4,
You froze.
I can do that, I forgot.
hilarious.
Hole!
I can't do it quiet, but I can do it. I don't know if it matters.
It's so loud in
Yours is
here.
just
You can
touch.
absolutely cast guidance without anyone giving a crap.
So my performance is... God, I forgot how big my performance was.
It's a lot.
It is 23.
It's actually a shockingly good interpretive dance. There's a lot of flair where it looks like
There's
it's
a
a
note
real thing,
over there.
but also explaining.
Yeah, okay.
Gemma, how'd you do?
9.
9. Wow, Huey's an amazing dancer.
With the bit. With the bit.
And then after about 2
I
seconds,
know.
you're like, oh, he's trying
you're
to say
talking.
something to me.
Yeah.
He's moving his lips
Okay.
too, and then you are able to. I'll say you can like clock yourself in
Just
and
like
kind of
lead in.
figure
Yeah.
out.
Okay.
You can just grab him and be like, over there. So, we will say that everybody's attention has been alerted to these two individuals.
Stuart's waiting for the music to change to give him
Yeah.
a reason to get up and be like, oh, I hate this song.
Tell me, who are the most charismatic ones in our group?
You.
I think it's
No.
the 3 of us.
I've got 18 charisma.
I have a +3.
Dubstep.
Good at it, but I'm not as good
Okay.
Yeah.
as all y'all.
You don't.
I'm
need
very
to
good
have
at lying.
charisma to be beloved.
But not as good as you.
Okay. If that's the case, I do know what... I'm also going to take that cue where he mentions waiting for the music
Yeah.
to change.
Yeah, music changes. Stuart, you're gonna get up and kind
I'm
of.
just gonna get up and walk over towards them. If there's a chair nearby, within earshot.
Yeah, there's like a stool like a couple down from on the kind of other side
So-
of the
okay.
human. So it's the gnome would be facing.
Yeah.
you.
Okay. That's perfect.
Yeah. What are you gonna do on the music change?
So I'm gonna like just find a way to like dance over to Verity and Gemma, and just like, hey, like, you think we should go get some drinks?
Oh,
wink,
yeah.
wink. And as I do that, I like, as I try to position myself by them, I like point, but I do it in a way that like touches them.
Yeah.
And I cast Enhance Ability. Ooh. And I'm going to use Eagle Splendor, which casts a little which they now have advantage on charisma checks.
Okay.
Can you apply that to dancing?
I see.
That would technically yes, because that would be a performance.
as the music shifts, there is just this sudden bit of audible.
Did you press that on again? Both
Yes,
of
I
us?
need
Okay.
to.
And then you suddenly hear from the DJ booth, "Oh, we're turning it up now!" Hits like the buzzer and like basically like loops the caw sound of your spell into the klaxon.
That's what it's missing.
Mixing it into the beat. Crowd goes nuts. They don't know where that sound came from. Did not matter. They just start losing their minds, and everybody starts grooving as the DJ drops the beat. And Stewart, you incidentally make slightly pained eye contact with this human man as he kind of just, it's not a full wince, but it's definitely the like, oh, okay. He kind of goes over, like, gives you like the nod of like someone who is also like, I just wanted a drink. You're now enough in earshot. It's hard still over the music, but you're enough in earshot to hear a little bit of what this gnome is going on about. And what you mostly hear is just this completely incessant. And so then I tell him, like, obviously, like, if it says it's from a cursed tomb, then, like, the item's gotta be cursed. And he's like, no, because the tomb is cursed, because it's modifying the word tomb, not object. If it was an item from a tomb that was a cursed object, that would be said differently than if it was an object from a cursed tomb. So I don't know why we haven't, like, if we're gonna update the descriptions to everything, we gotta really clarify this.
Do I hear all this over?
We'll say you can, like, pick up, like, you're getting a lot of the bass, too, but you can just pick up this tiny little string. She's very loud.
I just look over at Gemma.
So you're gonna handle this.
Stewart, I can talk to you twice now.
Here's an echo.
Oh,
You
shit!
took my bracelet off. It's okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, I forgot about that.
No, it's okay.
Yeah, I just kind of like, hey, how's it going?
But I'm just saying, if something is cursed, shouldn't we put some sort of, like, warning on it? At this point, the human man turns and goes, who's going to touch it? Are you planning to touch the item that may or may not be cursed? Because I'm not. And just goes back to his drink. And she, like, this actually stops her for a moment. She's like, well, I mean, I'm just saying, like, sometimes there's gonna be, like, eventually there's gonna be new trainees, and what if they just go busting in and they're just, like, running around and, like, I don't know, playing tag in the collections, and then they suddenly just, like, touch things, whatever, and you just see his eyes glaze over.
Stuart's actually gonna kind of look over and go like, I've seen one of our workers just completely obliterate. I mean, it was a thing, and it was in a crate. They shouldn't have been looking, but they did. They opened up the crate, mouth, reached their hand inside, hand gone.
See, this is what I'm saying. This is why it's really important to label items for exactly what they are, right? Like, what if you're just, like, trying to unbox something and, like, they're like, oh, yeah, it's a cool book, and then you open it up, and the book's made of human flesh, and it's got, like, a face on it, and it's screaming at you, and then you're like, oh, I'm just gonna try to open the book, and then the book opens you. Like, this is a real problem that could be happening. Like, see, he knows what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about, right? Like, you've seen this happen, right?
Not that specifically. No, that's frightening.
That's what I'm saying. Safety protocols and procedures are very important. I'm just saying, like, I need 3 more signatures to get them to let me update the employee handbook. And you see, yes, fine. I will sign it 3 times. Would you like me to sign it 3 times? I will sign it 3 times for you if you want. She's like, really? Really? Yes, absolutely. I will use my forgery kit. I will give you 3 different signatures that look like anything you want.
Are they talking about unions over there? I feel like I heard something about an employee handbook. No?
The chattering goes on a little bit longer. You're able to kind of catch some more of this. And then suddenly, like, fully, like, midstream, she's like, and I'm just saying that's why, like, if we all present it together, then we can absolutely get the updates. Also, we need to update the posters in the break room. Oh, shit, I gotta piss. I'll be right back. And, like, fully just midstream, like, hops on the stool, heads for the bathroom.
Going to the bathroom. I'm coming with you.
Throwing you a bone. You're welcome.
I'm going to the bar.
I'm just gonna start chatting up the guy in normal conversation.
Yeah.
I'm gonna buy him a drink.
Oh, he's like, thank you, man. Yeah. Thank you. That's really appreciate it.
I'm just gonna try and occupy his time and mind while they go do their thing.
While he's doing that, I go up to the bar, and I kind of get close enough to Stewart. Just, oh, good evening, good fellow. Is there any drink that you would recommend from up on the bar?
The ale is fantastic.
A fine ale it be then. Thank you. I tap him, and I also give him enhance ability with an eagle's flirt.
Oh my god, this is so great!
Is this my song?
What is he doing?
Where are you from with that accent? Please sit down. Please sit down.
I'll go over and join the two
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah. At this point, you were the most normal person in this conversation. Just gonna slide up and just sit down and just kind of like casually integrate in. This guy seems actually like once you guys start chatting, like this dude actually seems like a very pleasant, just perfectly normal dude. He was just not having it with the coworker conversation. And you guys have some ales and just start chatting about your day and how hard it is working in the warehouses. Are you guys gonna actually try to like wheedle any information from this dude?
Whatever we can, because I imagine Stewart also does not look like he was working in a warehouse. So he sort of fits in with their vibe in case he picks up on it or not.
I will say that with your high enough roll, like Huey was the one who spotted it. Once you especially like get up close and are kind of you're kind of able to pick up on, because he's the one who's still wearing his jumpsuit normally.
Yeah.
So as you're kind of passing around behind him, stuff, you can kind of catch this like weird embroidery thing. And given your background, actually, I will say, you've seen this kind of thing before. This is a very common way for like, groups that don't want to be immediately identifiable like at a glance, but want to be identifiable to each other or to people who know to look, might create a sort of like uniform. Something where they're blending in with the area, but like, this is like, this doesn't match any insignia that from the district.
Yeah. So I will just talk into the earring. And just say, it sounds like your coworker's really into organization and safety and talking about it.
Yeah, she's just, she's really great. She's good at her job. That we wouldn't keep her on if she wasn't. She's just really, I think the new meds are not adjusted correctly, and so she's just a little bit high-strung right now. To be fair, she has some really valid points. The posters in the break room are from 2 years ago, and that's out of compliance. And it really is time to update the employee handbook with the changes to the contracting. It's probably hit you guys too.
Yeah.
Which one are you laying around here?
We're kind of new. We're called Blackwell.
Blackwell, interesting. Haven't heard of that one.
It's very new. We're a warehouse, shipping. We do.
Shipping or shipping.
Mostly shipping.
Okay.
With a little shipping underneath, but not a lot of shipping.
No,
Yeah,
I got you. He kind of looking at you, but indicates a little bit down the bar. He goes, the guys over there with the red lining on their, they've got a little something going on. Pretty sure it's, sometimes limited edition items don't have to be that limited, We trade cigarettes on break sometimes and chat about our bosses. Well, nice to have more folks in the neighborhood. This is kind of the watering hole. If the music gets to be too much, we could always head upstairs, but the beer's colder down here, so it's a trade-off.
Well,
they're working on it. It's just the upstairs bar is a lot smaller, so it catches up to you sometimes. Anyway, nice to meet you. Name's Balladeer. Not like the singer. My parents were just hippies.
My name's Stewart.
Nice to meet you. Thanks for the drink.
Yeah.
You guys kind of chat a little more. Verity and Huey, you guys both have high enough charisma and good enough general observation skills to kind of like vibe into this conversation in the way that strangers at a bar do, with just, you know, finding the appropriate times to be like, oh yeah, I worked this summer job where, you know, we were doing things under the table and it was a little shady. Enough of that thing of like getting on the level where everybody is comfortable with the idea that you're not all above board. And getting a little rapport with this very tired looking dude. Meanwhile, in the bathroom.
And so I'm just saying, like, you saw how the unionization worked at the casino.
Yeah.
It worked out really well.
Yeah.
I'm just saying it needs to be applied other places.
No, I'm 100% agreement. Like, we need to unionize everything. Like, that's the goal.
It's true. It's better for everybody overall. Safety.
Yeah. Worker solidarity, better wages. Oh, hey.
There's like the flush, the stall opens, and this gnomish woman comes out and just like without missing a beat is just like, see, that's the thing that everybody overlooks is like if you're gonna be OSHA compliant, you gotta just like all stand up for it. Like they're gonna come investigate at some point, no matter who you pay off, right? So you might as well get them on board.
Yeah, if your P's and Q's are in line,
Dot
with
your
those
I's,
things,
cross
they're
your
not
T's.
going to look at the other.
Yeah. No, this is what I'm trying to say. Look, I've already got the OSHA guy in my pocket. Like, he's gonna pass us, but we should also be, like, supporting each other and not having an uncomfortable working environment.
Sure.
It's not that hard.
Sure.
So,
Not a fan of those hostile work environments.
yeah, I mean, it's not really that hostile. It's just getting kind of lax and boring. They're, like, working on other stuff, and they're just not paying enough attention, right?
In an unsafe way?
Yeah.
Maybe not. I don't know. There's a lot of, you know, when you're working in a place with a lot of magic, I don't know what it is that you guys do, but there's magic around, and like that stuff's so unstable sometimes. And if you're not doing the proper checklists to make sure that everything's, you know, that all the like keywords are patched in correctly, and you cast enough times to make the perimeter secure, like who's to say that it's correct, right?
Yeah. Do you have systems or processes in place? I'm a big systems person. Like,
I'm trying to create paperwork so we can try, you know, like if you've got somebody who's scheduled to cast the alarm spell once a day, every day for 100 days, you got to make sure you don't miss any of those 100 days. So you got to have a check-in system.
Right. Did somebody miss?
I'm not sure. That's the problem, right? I don't have any way of.
You don't have a log or anything?
We were supposed to have a log. I don't know where it went. See, I'm starting to think that maybe somebody else might have messed up, and so they maybe like, you know, just slid it between some couch cushions or something. That's not going to help anybody. Like, we're not going to be mad. We just got to be able to fix the problem.
Sure. Yeah, definitely. I mean, but you know, an alarm spell easily poof, dispel. Like, that's the other thing.
I mean, have you ever dealt with glyphs? Ooh, those glyphs, those can be a real problem. You know, it all takes one or anything with a trigger word. You ever done trigger words?
Oh yeah,
those
plenty.
things are a nightmare. You know, if you say it wrong, you put the wrong tonal inflection into it, or if you pick something in a language that not enough people speak. Yeah, right. Like,
yep. Some weird language.
yeah, I'm just saying, like, you know, like we don't have anything that complicated. We're in my workplace yet, but there's been some talk. They've got a dragonborn on staff now, and like, you know, Draconic, like, it's a beautiful language. I've been studying it. You know, I'm up to like a 300-day streak on the app. Like, I'm getting a lot better. But like, the inflection is always what gets me, right? Like I figured out the whole alphabet because there's only like 6 letters in it, but it's all the apostrophes.
The glottal stops.
Yeah.
Those are the just so beautiful but so difficult. Yeah.
Give me perception checks.
Okay. 19.
13.
Gemma, she's very excited. She's very drunk.
Yeah. Where are you working at? Like, where...
Oh,
Is there a union already, or are you just,
No, I
like,
mean we're
working
all required to be unionized because it's part of it's just part of the process. You know, I used to work in the grocery store, is the same thing, so I'm like very used to that, and it's like perfectly reasonable dues too. So like it's not really a problem. It's just it's just the systems. It's a little bit archaic, and like a bunch of us used to work for other different organizations that where you're like. you're not supposed to keep paperwork, and so like that makes it so hard to get people on board because everyone's like, we're not supposed to write it down. What if somebody who's not supposed to see it finds it? Why would you leave that laying around? That's dangerous. That's how people get arrested and shit. So like I'm trying to like find a middle ground, right? Like you gotta be able to like put an illusion over the sign-in sheet to make it look like a painting or something, right? How hard can that be? That can't be that hard. You hear what I'm saying?
What protocols do they have in place?
I mean, they don't. The protocols. They don't have the protocols. We got a full security system and everyone's just supposed to know it. I just want a little bit better tracking so we can make sure that everyone's following the rule. You know, you're locking doors behind you, you're setting your triggers, you're properly reporting if something is moved.
I mean,
or
are they
missing.
using, is it the passwords? Are they assigning people keys so they can track who's going where?
No, I mean, you wouldn't need it. I mean, keys wouldn't do anybody any good anyway. Like, there's only like 2 entrances and nobody's gonna come into like an empty room for no reason, right? It's more about the principle, right? She starts really going off on, you're starting to pick up that it's maybe less that the protocols are actually bad and more that she has made suggestions that she has not been acknowledged for in updating the protocols.
We will acknowledge her.
Yeah.
Make her feel very validated.
Yes.
Stewart does kind of turns away from the guy. It's like, maybe she'll show you.
Do you work close by?
Oh, I mean, it's like a couple blocks over. That's why we usually stop here. It's kind of the best place to just stop right when you get off work, or off shift. And also then you're nearby. If somebody has to call out and you gotta like jump back in an emergency, doesn't usually
I'm sorry, they're
happen.
making you double shifts?
Oh, I mean, we get paid double overtime, so it's not that bad, you know. It's just, but I live on the other side of town, so that's like a whole bus trip to get here and back and whatever. And like honestly, like if I finish my book during the day, it's kind of boring if I have to go back for another one, especially if I'm on front door duty, because I'm just like sitting there reading my book and waiting to make sure nobody comes through the door. So like, I just want to be more prepared. That's another thing too, is just general quality of life improves. It wouldn't hurt nobody nothing to put like a tiny little bookshelf in the break room so that we could all have a swap
Shared
around our paper
library.
books. Yeah. Wouldn't be that. And honestly, like I don't think anyone's really opposed to it or anything, but you got to get it signed off, right? Because everything's got to be scanned. You got to make sure nobody's bringing in some sort of like cursed bookshelf that's got like a tracking spell on it where other people can find you.
I mean,
you know?
yeah, but if that's where the paperwork is stopping, is like all of this stuff that's stopping you from having like an actual
honestly, you know
decent
what I
work
think the
environment.
problem is? I think the problem is just that everybody thinks that the system works, and they're not thinking ahead to what if the system does not work. Hear what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This is the point at which you can both recognize that she has now tilted over the drunk threshold.
So
But
what?
she does continue talking about systems and processes.
Have you tried like testing it?
Yeah.
Testing it out?
Why? No, because no, it works. Like it works. I'm just saying, but what if it stopped working?
It only takes one time.
Right. Like we should be doing more tests. We should have like a monthly test. You test the fire alarm. You should probably test everything else too.
What if you conducted your own test and then you gave
I'm not-
that result to your boss?
I mean, what is it, like 5 alarm spells? And
yeah, it's probably not even that much.
I mean, you gotta do one for every display case. You gotta do one for every room. There's different ones in the different rooms, so it's a whole variety of different items, right? And that's I'm not really I'm not a manager or nothing. I can't authorize that sort of thing. So I'm just trying to see if anybody who's like higher up the chain is willing to maybe like consider authorizing something like that. I think it's a good idea, especially with everything being so tense. Like we're all getting told to like be really on guard and the most on edge possible. But then we're not, following
Did they
through on
tell
any
you
of that.
why?
No, they don't tell us why, because if we said why, we might say something to the wrong person. You can't have that. Like, you can't just be telling anybody everything
mouthing
about
off.
what your job is.
Yeah.
That's completely not secure, right?
Sure.
Absolutely not.
Out in the main bar, you guys are having a very good conversation about how shipping routes have changed, which is definitely going to affect the tax bracket.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Stewart is definitely, because he's hearing all of this, is just like,
Huey, Verity, are you guys invested in the conversation, or?
I am acting like I am.
Great.
I think I'm like generally like trying to get information, like just trying to talk to him, see how much he'll tell me about his work, or
Yeah, every time you start to bring up like specifically his work, like he'll talk about it in broad terms. You are able to pick up that he works in security for one of the warehouses that is somewhat nearby. Sorry, I'm scanning to see what would be appropriate. Yeah, he works in security. He works nearby. He has recently been bumped up to like slightly more of a patrol. It seems like a lot of this is picking up from context clues, but it seems like he was previously in a position that was like more of a like posting, and he's recently bumped up to something where he's like moving on some sort of rotation. But he is a lot more vague about what his job is. It's just these like kind of general references of like, well, you know how it is, you know, when you're dealing with, you know, storing rare items. So it's like, you know,
yeah.
and like sometimes things are there for a week, sometimes things are there forever, and so it's just there's a constant flux of concern.
you know, security isn't back in the day it was so lax.
It's so simple, right?
Yeah.
It's two guys with a couple of wands ready to jump you if you get in the way. And now it's like, you know, we got like, oh god, so many, like 9 minimum or something like that.
And then it's all the middlemen in between you and yeah.
Yeah. Well, and you know, anytime I don't know if you've been feeling this recently, but I know we're starting to feel that pinch from on high that we need to be a little tighter about things. So that's always like, I mean, I don't know how much tighter you want me to be. If I'm just doing what you told me, then you gotta tell me to do something else.
what about any golems or constructs? I mean, you know, you think that they could, you know, really foil some sort of incursion.
You know, that is really a good point. I'm kind of surprised more people don't take advantage of that. Maybe it's just the cost output of those kinds of things.
And making sure, you know, they don't go, you know, off kilter and kill everyone.
That's but true, but make sure that they do their job properly and they're worth their weight of
Maybe it's
flesh sometimes.
I mean, maybe it's just I don't know. Maybe could be cost concerns. Also, like when it comes to, you know, training and controlling something like a construct versus an animal, like I feel like there's just a lot better luck been had with your standard, you know, beasts, right? Get a couple of good dogs that can smell out somebody who's where they shouldn't be.
Do you have beasts at your place of employment?
Straight up.
His accent is everything.
I mean, we have had before.
Sounds like they weren't quite as efficient then.
I mean, that's not really my department. What about you? What do you have where you work?
I don't really work per se.
That explains a lot of things, actually.
We've got the posts and the patrols. And
Verity will just go into a long spiel about some old job that he used to work.
Yeah, I just absolutely this one time when I had to do the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. The other thing that you kind of vaguely comes up is at one point the guy goes, you know, it's like, well, I mean, I just like I personally get concerned about the over-reliance on traps these days, right? You know, it's classic, it's old school. I get why you do it, but you know, at a certain point, I just get worried. Like, not to besmirch like younger members of the team, but you know, sometimes they get careless and they don't remember that they have to. Like, the traps can also trap the guards if you're not paying attention. So, you know. Not to be like a kids these days. Oh God, I'm turning into my father. Can we get another round over here for us? Yeah, another round. You guys make me insight checks on this guy.
It's a nice even murder die.
Yeah, there it is. Insight. Can I use a bit?
Do it. We got enough.
Yeah, you're a bit still, right?
18.
18.
15.
15?
Also 18.
Great. I will say you guys all kind of pick up on what is the best way to phrase this? This guy is definitely has more of the patter of somebody who knows how to talk about his job without talking about his job. He doesn't quite necessarily seem like drunk, not like what you're picking up from all of the squealing in the bathroom. He just seems kind of tired. You know, he's got a little bit of that vibe of like, you know, the old school guy who like is trying really hard to not be the back in my day guy, but is starting to feel that way with like the
I will lean into
Next
that.
to
I will lean into that if I think it'll get him to go.
you definitely get like more like I'll say more sympathy or more you know, he seems to be like really connecting with you on that level. He is really not saying much of anything though.
Yeah.
Like he's in a way that is very obviously like this is someone who works in a job where he cannot talk about his job and he is very good at that. So but he does seem to like you guys. Like it seems like you have built up rapport with him.
You know what? I feel we should play a game.
Why?
Because work is terrible.
Amen to that. Is it a drinking game?
Yes, it is. Have you ever played Coppers?
Maybe years ago. What rules do you use? We used to play a lot of drinking games when I was back in college.
Well, we take our coin, we bounce it up, and try to have it land in the drink, and if it lands in there, whoever's drink it lands in, they take the shot.
Yeah, sure, why not? I'm down for a little gambling. He like fishes around his pocket, finds a handful of coins.
Yeah.
Okay. Drinking game. Everybody who is playing the drinking game is going to roll a d6. You don't need to declare this number. This is just actually no. We'll make this even simpler. 1, 2.
Stewart's stepping back.
Stewart's stepping back?
Yeah, he's not going to participate.
1, 2, 3.
I was hoping for a sleight of hand roll. My plan is Pathfinder.
Oh, you can still. I will still allow you to use your sleight of hand. Basically, what we're gonna do is I'm gonna roll the d4 for which way the coin looks like it's gonna land. So 1 is Verity's cup, 2 is Huey's, 3 is Balladeer's, 4 is just full width, right? I will absolutely allow you to, I will roll in front of the table to see where it looks like it's going to land, and I will absolutely allow you to use sleight of hand to see if you can reroute it. It will be your sleight of hand against his insight to see if he catches you trying to rig it.
Oh, this definitely did not go the way I thought it would. I thought it was just playing quarters.
What?
Welcome to Drinking Game Rules with Alondra.
I'll give you a guiding whispers d4 on
Thank you.
What?
It's going for a whiff. Do you want to try to redirect it?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay. First round, no one drinks.
Stewart grabs the coin and tosses it back on the
Cool.
table.
We'll say that was Balladeer went first. Joseph, roll me a d4.
Let's see. Oh, that's a 3.
3. It is headed for Balladeer's cup. Do you want to try to redirect?
No.
Great. Hits his cup. He, clinks and chugs.
Stewart's gonna get another round while they're playing. They're just gonna go get line up.
Just
line
make
up.
sure that there's just
Yeah.
a constant flow going.
Oh, yeah.
All right, go ahead.
That is a 4.
4.
It's a whiff.
That's a whiff. 4 is a whiff.
Just like real quarters.
I was gonna say that sounds like real quarter.
That's a 1.
That's headed for your cup. Chug, 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 chug. Huey, your turn. If you don't want to, if instead of rolling the d4, you want to try to like use something else or use an ability to choose how it goes.
I am going to do something actually. I'm going to take the coin, touch my forehead,
Okay.
get that eagle cawing again. Where does that come from?
This one's fully drowned out by the current base.
And this one, actually, no, this isn't the eagle. This is Slate of Hand. This is Dex, which means I'm going to use...
Cat's Grace.
Cat's Grace.
The tabaxi bartender like suddenly kind of looks a little bit confused, but it's a loud bar, so.
Okay, so I'm gonna... That is a 2. And I'm going to try and use my Slate of Hand
Okay.
to redirect that.
Okay.
Oh, nat 20!
Nat 20 beats his.
I am on a roll tonight and I love it!
Cool.
This is what happiness feels like.
Okay.
All right.
Cool. So you're gonna redirect it into his cup.
Yeah.
Cool. He chugs.
So Stewart is going to excuse himself, go to the bathroom, turn himself invisible, come back and try and sleight of hand his keys or his whatever he's got on him while this is happening.
Great. Go ahead and we'll do another contested sleight of hand versus insight.
Advantage because I'm invisible? Or no?
No, you were
Okay.
invisible. You're in a crowded, noisy bar, and he's both drinking and focused on something else.
Got
So absolutely.
Okay. 19.
Beats him.
Okay. Does he have anything like in his...
He's got a set of keys. He's got a wallet. I'm assuming you're kind of going more for like back pocket or side pocket, where it's a little easier to kind of like nudge up against him like it's getting jostled in the bar. You see that he's got like a pen tucked in his breast pocket. Whether or not you choose to go for that is up to you. But in his pocket you can get wallet, keys, sending stone.
Does anything out of that seem like it would get me into his place?
Given that you don't really, all you know is that this place, presuming that he is one of Vidorant's guards, which seems to be a good bet at this point with the context clues you've picked up, assuming that is all the case, there's nothing like labeled for that. They seem to just be in a warehouse. They're using a warehouse as a front for where all of this stuff is hidden. So on his ring of keys, he's got enough keys where it's like, one or two of these might be to his work, but you're gonna have to find the building and try them. Like nothing's labeled.
Got it. Then I'm just gonna put them back.
Yeah, it's like three or four keys on with a novelty keychain and like a little like tiny flashlight, tiny multi-tool situation.
Put it back.
Do you want to go for that pen?
No.
Oh.
No, but you. Oh no, because I'm invisible. So you did not see my eyes glance at the pen.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm also gonna assume like you have no idea. You just you and Verity are playing the game, and at some point, what's your passive perception?
Oh, it's terrible. 13.
13. At some point, you probably noticed that at least that Stewart is not sitting in the stool where he was. Mm-hmm. But like that could just mean that he went to the bathroom. He could be a couple people over on the bar doing something. Like, you know, you're very focused on trying to keep this game going.
So then for the rest of whatever happens, Stewart is just going to be invisible at the bar drinking. No, because he can't. He's just going to be invisible at the bar, wishing he could drink.
I just realized he can still communicate with me, though, because we got the...
No. Gemma has it.
Oh, right.
Anyway. Okay. So I'm just chilling. I'm not trying to look suspicious.
Yeah.
Because they can probably see invisibility. So I'm just going to look like I'm just there, but invisible.
Sure. I mean, yeah, maybe like you turned invisible because you saw your ex across the way and you didn't want her to see you. That's always an option. Okay. Cool. You guys are drinking. Let's cut back over to the bathroom. You have now gotten to crying girl drunk in the bathroom.
Oh no.
She is a broken record. You are not getting any new information out of her. It's the same 6 things
Okay.
phrased 100 different ways.
Oh, honey.
As she's just like super caught up in this, and you're like, oh, okay, this is someone who.
Yeah. I mean, she's crying drunk. We should do it.
Yeah. So Gemma's just gonna like give her a nice little pat, like, it's okay. You know, like maybe we can help you work through it if you like tell us the specifics, and like, you know, we can help you through it. I'm gonna.
Seriously, is it a height thing? Is it because I'm short? I'm a full-grown adult. I've had a lot of jobs in this field, and nobody seems to pay any attention to me.
I'm gonna cast suggestion on her.
Okay. What is your
A
suggestion?
wisdom save. The wisdom save is that she tells us about the security, so we can help her figure out the puzzle of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the where.
I am going to make this. I am also going to need you to make a persuasion check.
Remember, you have advantage on that.
I would say with disadvantage because she's drunk, so it's a flat roll.
We have more bits.
I still got one to get
Yeah.
to.
Toss it.
I'm using my DM bit also.
No.
He gets me to a 15.
I have to double check a stat real quick. Because I've been doing these guys' stats from memory. And I just want to confirm.
If it doesn't work, she
doesn't
can't
work.
tell we cast it.
Yeah.
So
It's fine. It's totally fine. It's gonna be fine.
She just barely failed it.
we've been furiously passing notes into his.
I know.
So, per the rules of suggestion, like what is the exact thing you are trying to suggest?
The exact thing I am trying to suggest is that we, as like security type people, we know about security, can help find the holes in the system if she tells us about like the system.
So we're suggesting that she tell us about the system.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Maybe, possibly.
What did I write down? It was better when I wrote it.
Yeah.
No. That's fine. I'm
Yeah, it's like tell us about the security members and we can help work it out. Is like oh, thanks.
So I'm trying to decide how to rule this because that's a slightly more complex request than what suggestion normally would
So it
cover.
says you suggest a course of activity limited to a sentence or two. Yeah.
I'm also trying to determine like how much she actually like how much she actually knows. This is a little bit of that balance of yes, she is under magical influence, but she is also trained to not share information. So I'm trying to figure out where that line
I mean,
is.
base minimum, if we can get a location out of it and not necessarily security measures.
That is
Yeah.
a different request.
Right. Okay.
So
No, I
if you
know.
want to get the location, that is a different request from what is your security system like.
Right.
So,
I'm happy to rephrase it as such.
tell me which information you want, and I will determine what information you get. You will get information, like, you have succeeded on this. I just have to, like, this is me quickly scanning the, like, available information to figure out what to hand you. So,
Location's probably the more useful thing at
Yeah,
this point, since we don't
location
know.
and
We know it's a few blocks away. But
and she
we don't
said
know.
2 entrances, so I guess location and most accessible entrance.
I will also say, because this wasn't really necessarily made clear, you guys have not been given any sort of restrictive time limit on doing this job. This is not like it has to be done tonight.
That's true.
This is a you need to not get caught situation. So, not to meta, but finding the location, you can go case the joint. Like, you can go check it out and
Yeah.
try to, like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
spy and get intel yourselves. And you know that the boys are talking to the guy at the bar.
Right.
They may also be getting usable information from him that you can share.
Stuart, have you gotten usable information from him?
As long as my game doesn't.
So I think
So-
yeah, rephrasing it then to a more of a like, you know, like, oh my, you know, like, I don't know how to be like, where do you work?
Where do you work?
Well, like, it sounds like, I don't know. Is it like a, wow, we really need to avoid that, so tell us where you work?
We're applying for new places. Tell us where not to apply. And then,
Right.
I mean,
no, she seems to like it here.
She
She's
failed.
just
Well,
like-
she failed the wisdom save. She's under suggestion. You can just straight up ask her for the address. Under those conditions, you could just straight up ask her for the address, and she would have to give it to you. There's just that balance of whether or not she realizes that she did that.
Yeah.
So I think it's like a consoling, like, oh my gosh, where do you work? They're so horrible kind of thing.
Maybe. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's, yeah.
Want to slip in the suggestion there. We don't want to make it obvious.
Under that sort of phrasing, and because she's like in this super upset state, she basically what starts happening is that she starts to just kind of rattle off, and she's just like, I mean, like it's normally like a really great job, and you know, Ms. Vidorant is like she's actually a really good employer, and she takes care of us, and like, you know, like the location's a little bit out of the way, you know, because we gotta keep it so secret, and you know, whatever, but like it's not like it's a bad place to be, and like, you know, it's like really easy work, and I'm just trying to make it better because I want to just like make a difference or whatever. Speaking from real world experience, if someone asks where do you work, I do not tell them an exact location. I give them a name of the place I work for. But you do get out of that, you get out of her, she does work for Vidorant, and you have gotten that it is local to here, hidden in a warehouse. If you would like to delve further than that, you will probably need to, I don't know, like a persuasion or an intimidation check. It's almost like the system actually has things for you to try to get information out of people with. Sorry, I'm not trying to hard ass this. I'm just going like, as a person being asked these questions, how would I respond? And my answer is, do not tell anyone my location, even when I'm not under magical influence. So I'm trying to figure out how to spin this to get you guys what you want.
Can we ask about neighbors? Neighboring?
Yes. Yeah, you can. You can.
Are
like,
they any better than the other businesses nearby?
with that, you will. Yes, I will allow that to geolocate. That makes sense in my brain. She will talk about the neighbors. She will say that the folks on the one side who are the fine art dealers are fine. They're just really quiet. They don't really talk to anyone. The folks on the other side who seem to stock some sort of like exotic fruit or something, they have an alarm that just keeps going off constantly that they have not fixed. It's just constantly sounding day and night, and that's another reason why she thinks that we should be testing things more, because you don't ever want to have that happen, because like that's not fair. The neighbors are. So now you have a much clearer sense of like what the surrounding buildings are, and you have a very specific. There is a building with an ongoing alarm.
Alarm, that's annoying. Cool. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. We should probably get you
Yeah.
home.
Some Pedialyte.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea. Have you had anything to eat?
I got olives too.
I had like a nacho burrito earlier for lunch.
Oh my god, I love nacho burritos.
You feed her some Pedialyte and like
Some olives.
haul her and some olives and haul her out of the bathroom to the bar maybe.
Yeah.
Just like find the human man and just be like, you know, is she just she's just like, we got some Pedialyte in her, and like, you know,
She's eating some olives, but
I don't hang on, let me see if I've got like a contact if you can get her to unlock her phone. I think her girlfriend's like the first number in her saved
like
contacts.
get her phone and
Or-
like
yeah, you pull out her settings
Like
stone.
holding her up, like,
you turn
all
away from her
right.
face, you realize it's an older model. You just pick up her hand and like thumbprint to unlock. You find the number labeled.
Bear?
Yeah. Boogie Bear with like 3 heart emojis. Is she drunk? Like the first thing out, is she drunk, right?
Hi, yeah, we're at the Prancing Otyugh.
Oh, okay. Yeah, if you could just get her a glass of water, and I'll be there in like 15 minutes.
Keeping her hydrated.
I'm so sorry about
It is
this.
not the first time.
No, it is not.
Not with her, but like, you know.
No, I appreciate it. We gotta look out for each other. I'll be there in 15.
Yeah. Water.
More Pedialyte.
The now slightly uncomfortable and also himself a little bit getting drunker coworker just kind of goes like, okay, this is all right. We're gonna go outside. It was nice playing with y'all, nice chatting with y'all. He pulls out some coins, leaves it on the bar to pay for his last round of drinks. Kind of like scoops her up in that, like, she's a gnome, so it's like kind of like hand under the arm that is kind of half carrying her. And he starts kind of taking her outside to get a breath of fresh air.
Bye. So nice to meet you.
You guys see Huey and Verity there with some drinks. You do not see Stewart currently.
Gemma, I'm just over here.
Oh, are you invisible?
Yeah.
Oh, do you want to not be invisible?
I'm okay.
Okay. Do you need anything?
Nope, all good.
Like
All right. How'd we do,
we have
guys?
another burrito in the bag.
We got a little bit of info, not a lot. He seemed pretty trained into.
Yeah, we were trying to get him drunk to see if he'd be a little more, loose-lipped, but
Seems like you guys did okay.
I will drop the suggestion. Don't need to be concentrating on. Yeah, she we know that the neighbors on one side are fine art dealers and the other side deals with exotic fruit and has an annoying alarm.
That keeps going
2
on
entrances.
to the actual
Bunch of alarm spells
yeah.
that may or may not be
He
up.
said something about dogs and traps. And
Some glyphs apparently. So
well, we know they used to have dogs or some kind of beast. So
Yeah.
we know they don't have them now, so that's something.
that's what it was.
Because they were talking about the whole idea of trying to get what kind of guards they should use. They mentioned talk about the idea of constructs and how that's kind of a risky maneuver. So I don't think they have constructs and I don't think they have beasts.
okay.
Wait, I'm trying to process it. Did that mean he did not have constructs?
The sum total of what you guys were able to figure out was that they don't seem to have constructs. They do seem to have a minimum of 9 guards on shift at a time, and they don't. You think they don't have dogs? They do seem to have probably a lot of magic, and there was an implication that there's a lot of traps.
So, good news, nothing big. But bad news, they kind of got the quantity to make up for it. So, how do we approach that?
Well,
We should probably see if we can find it, and maybe see what we can find out just by watching, observing. From Priscilla, we don't have a huge time crunch on this. So I don't.
Stewart, how long are you invisible for?
40 minutes or so.
want to take a walk?
Sure.
You guys make your way out of the bar. You get a high five at the door, and you guys start kind of meandering through the warehouse area. It's not super late at night or anything. It's somewhere maybe around 8 p.m. at the outside. So it's gotten dark. This is not like full on like creepy abandoned where like this is active warehouse district. There are security lights on some of the things. So and you do occasionally spot other people sort of walking around. Some people look like they're a little bit like, starting the tipsy walk home or trying to walk off the tipsy. Definitely there's like a couple making out in an alley that sort of like shoves themselves further into the shadows when you guys pass or whatever. Nothing like horrifyingly sketchy, just like an area that is dwindling down as it gets later at night and more things are wrapping up. You start doing a little bit of a walk around. Everybody give me, survival checks.
I'll give out some guidances.
I'm
too.
specifically listening for an alarm.
Okay.
You said you're giving out guidance?
Yeah. Whoever wants to
I
have
will-
guidance.
Okay.
Good lord.
Ooh, what did we say we were doing?
Survival. I'm treating this as like you guys are essentially using like tracking skills and process of elimination to kind of narrow where you need to be. Looking for signs, looking for traces, listening for alarms.
15.
15.
23.
23.
8.
8.
13.
22.
Cool. Gemma and Huey, like upset puppies, you are the first to hear the high-pitched.
I can't hear it. I'm too old.
You are blessedly
just
not at your peak.
I still have music in my ears.
Just like rings.
And as you guys start to pick that up, you are able to start kind of narrowing the geolocation, steering everybody toward it. Stewart, a combination of your the knowledge you have, and then thinking back to like your days in the watch when you occasionally got called out here to deal with weird stuff happening. You are able to remember that most of the like food-based warehouses are kind of in a certain area and help steer them that way as everybody kind of echolocates off of the alarm noise. Sloan, you've done some jobs involving some fine art before, and so you kind of turn around a corner and notice like a familiar a familiar area where maybe you've like done a delivery or a pickup before. It's been a hot minute. It may have actually been so far back that it was still when you were working with your mentor before you were out on your own. Not a place you've been back to recently, but collectively Verity's just like grooving along in the back, and a guidance, and a guidance, and a go. And collectively, you are able to make your way until you find a stretch of warehouses, one of which very clearly has just, it's muffled, it's interior somewhere, but just this like incessant looping alarm sound. Like a garage buzzer or a fire alarm that hasn't been reset. You're like, standing there, you're like, oh, that's unpleasant. And then you're like, oh, if this has been going for days, this is super annoying. You look at some of the signage, you do find a fine arts dealer, like, Maker's logo or whatever, on another warehouse. And between them is a very plain warehouse. No blatant markings on any of the doors or anything. Nothing too crazy. Stewart, you have levels in Rogue, though.
Yes.
You speak Thieves' Cant.
Yes.
And you see the little image kind of chalked up in the corner that you recognize. It's essentially a sort of like Thieves Guild marker of this is a location you do not touch.
Got it. So I will point that out. This door here is marked. You should keep walking.
Yeah. This seems to be the best place that fits the description of what you got.
We should touch it. Not right now.
You're able to kind of take a look around.
Think about this time Stewart's disguise spell goes away. Oh, my disguise spell went away.
But are you still invisible?
I'm still invisible.
But you just somehow notice.
Are you letting us know so that we're not surprised
Yes.
by the mustache? Okay.
Yes.
Whoa, who is that?
Everybody, as you kind of approach the building, go ahead and give me perception checks.
That one.
Bro. This is terrible.
Joseph will be burning his dice after the stream.
Yeah.
Join us in the After Dark for that.
21.
23 again.
Great.
Wait, hold on. What are we doing? Perception?
Perception.
10.
10.
21.
21, 22, 23. You guys get close. Stewart, points out the mark. Thank God he's invisible, because as he points out the mark, the three of you, I can point, three of you. Also, like, you're looking up the side of the window, and you all see the little glimmer, and you look up, and you see the guard with the magic glowing in their fingertips, standing on the balcony, just kind of watching you. It's like very much that like they're just like they're standing on the edge, like kind of like hands resting on the railing, but you see the little spark of like something prepped.
Na, 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 na,
And we're just
na, 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 na. Oh my god, this is the best night ever.
Are there
They had
any?
such good music there.
Yeah, they really did. And this walk, whew, so nice.
Air is so breezy and totally makes me feel alive and not in danger at all.
Danger? What are you talking about? The only danger is from Verity's dance moves. Are you kidding me?
By the way, are there any other guards we can see? Or is it just that one?
With those high perception checks, you spot that person first. Now you're actively scanning. You spot a second one on this balcony that's kind of up on the front, above the front door, and I'm trying to think what this would look like in the layout. There's not. Does it tell me if there are windows on the ground level? I'm double checking real quick. I'm also double checking my compass directions because it's actually incredibly relevant to what information you get.
Never eat soggy waffles.
Cool. Yeah. As you walk past the now that you've clocked these two that are up on this balcony area, you can also clock movement coming from behind this front door.
Are the buildings connected or are they
No.
freestanding?
There's an alley between.
Okay, what are they made of?
The buildings, I believe they are all stone.
Great. So great.
That is a thing that I would expect you to tell me, and I'm double checking. Yes. They are all made of thick stone.
Okay.
Cool.
Beautiful.
Cool.
Do we feel like we need some additional distracting so y'all can look around a bit more?
Gonna send a little
okay.
a little message and say very quietly, should I go around the back and look around the back?
We can just loop around it. I don't know.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I also want to be clear that this balcony where you saw it is a balcony. It is not a wraparound. It is specifically just over the top of the front. So you, if you cut through the alley or whatever, it's not like they're going to be able to just trace you around.
That seems like
Just keep walking.
Yeah. Yeah, just keep grooving. Head for an alley for your weird makeout orgy session that you're clearly going to be doing.
Oh my god, duh.
Or whatever. But yeah, you guys kind of groove and party, playing up the we just came from the bar. Again, you have seen other groups kind of doing this, so this is not the most abnormal thing. As you circle around the side, you guys are generally seeing everything has stone walls. There are windows that are on the first floor that appear to be kind of high up. Not necessarily fully above head height, but definitely not at a standard window height. They're a little bit raised. This is true of most of the warehouses in the area. There also appears to be, more normal heighted windows on the second floor. But this definitely seems like it's, built this way probably for a bit of a security measure. So that people aren't just peeking in the windows at what's inside these buildings. I'm trying to double check. I did a really good job of picking buildings to be near you guys without remembering the actual buildings that it lists in here. I was really close. Just want to state that for the record.
Very cool.
Yeah, so there are some sporadic windows. Most of the windows are 10 feet up. That's what I was looking for. There are some that are 20 feet up. As you get around, kind of circle around, to go around the back, you start to hear noises. On the front is the north side of the building. As you get around to the back, to the south side of the building, I'm assuming you guys are just kind of doing a loop here.
In a wide loop.
Yeah, you hear, you hear just some weird noises.
Could you
creature,
characterize those
mechanical,
noises?
yeah. They sound possibly animal. They're muffled because they're coming from inside the building, but there definitely sounds like there might be some sort of critter in there. And we're not talking rats critter. We're talking something that would be large and vocal enough for you to hear it through a thick stone wall as you walk by.
Oh, I hope they don't have their own Otyugh.
You would smell
I
it.
think she would have talked about the smell, probably. At the bar.
Maybe they gave you a breath mint.
Just who knew that Tic Tacs were the...
Yeah. But yeah, as you kind of circle back around to the front, coming up the east side of the building, you have gone northwest, southeast, because that was the easiest way for me to do it looking at my map.
Love it.
As you come around to the east, you do see that kind of the balcony is sort of mostly squared off, and there's one slightly angled side to match up to the weird shape of the front of this building. It's not perfectly squared. And on this like weird little extra angle, you do see there's like a rope ladder that appears to be how the guards get up and down.
So there's no door behind the guards
Not
into the building.
It looks like there's got to be some sort of door behind the guards.
Have
but,
we seen a second entrance?
on circling around?
Was that by the dogs or by the animals?
You have only seen the front door. I mean, unless the second entrance is the entrance up on the balcony.
Right.
So.
Do we hear anyone crawling up top?
How close are the buildings around it?
I was like, what's a standard alley width? Probably like
5, 10 feet.
I think
16 feet or
I was
less?
gonna say I believe 20 feet. It's actually in here.
Oh.
20 feet on either side. I like how delighted we are when the information we're looking for is actually already available. But yeah, you've got these two places on either side. This building that you're at, which you have presumed to be the vault that you are looking for, does have like kind of like the like continual flame light that lights the front door. It looks like, you know, like a security light would. And there looks like there's like a couple more that you catch from like inside the building through some of the windows that look like either people are actively in there working on stuff, or they just have like the standard security lights that stay on all the time. So you've gotten a good look. You have found your location. You have a little bit of knowledge about what you might be dealing with to get through this space. And I think with that, we're going to close for this evening. And when we come back next week, we will decide how you wish to proceed, which can be anything from taking some more time to observe. You can go talk to Priscilla and see if she can get you more information, or if you want to just do a shenanigan that I will not declare, but I know what Cheryl's thinking.
Not right now.
Just at some point.
Yeah,
we gotta
you
plan it.
can try to get into this building. Anyway, thank you all so much for joining us. I don't have a thing anymore. That's fine. I'll do it for memory. Thank you all for joining us. We've got a bunch of other programming coming up this week. Redacted Reports is still on hiatus, but should be back next week. I have no idea what the Inspiration Point schedule is, so check their social media and you will be able to find out. On Saturday, Horror on the Orient Express is off, but on our Twitch channel, we will be running an Arena of the 5 E's. We haven't had one since the wonderful holiday-themed one that Cheryle ran, so we're bringing it back by popular demand. It's going to be a good time. I'm very excited for it, so tune in for that. Info and links will be in our Discord, as always. Horror on the Orient Express will be back on the 30th. And on Mondays, you're going to have us for 2 more weeks while we break into this vault and steal this crown and boogie through the night, apparently. Again, stay tuned to our Discord and our socials we will do our best to let you know if there are any scheduling changes. Thank you, as always, for liking, commenting, subscribing, and supporting. For those of you who watch live, we really appreciate you. We also appreciate it when you go back and comment after the fact, because it helps keep us on the top of everyone's recommendations. Thank you so much. If you're a patron, we will see you for a very brief After Dark. Good night.